Hey guys, I just wanted to let you know this episode previously aired on Mel and I's old podcast called Another Bite of Twilight. It came out in June 2019, so that was almost 4 years ago. But we wanted to reshare it to significant lovers because it was really the inspiration for the podcast, and Rob and Kristen are one of our favorite couples of all time. So you may have already heard this episode if you were a listener of Another Bite of Twilight, but if you're new to the show, maybe this is an all-new episode to you. It used to be a 2-part episode, but we put it into one for this, so there will be a little pause in the middle, and you might hear our old theme song music, and there might be some Twilight discussions that we normally wouldn't do on Significant Lovers, but in all, it's a very detailed, very thorough timeline of Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart, and I hope you enjoy.
Are you lonesome tonight? Do you miss me tonight? Are you sorry we drifted apart? Does your memory stray?
I'm Kel.
I'm Mel.
We're cousins.
We're cousins.
And this is Another Bite of Twilight.
Yes, if you're listening to this, then it's my birthday.
Wow! Happy birthday, Mel!
Thank you. I feel like I shouldn't have brought it up myself, but...
Well, you didn't give me a chance to.
I didn't think you would.
F you. Seriously.
Yes, when this episode airs, I'll be 23, which is not exciting.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, it's like... getting into the mid-20s. Mm-hmm. But as you guys know, I'm 17 forever.
So this is our 21st episode.
Yes.
Crazy. Time is just flying by. I'm sure it will be our 1-year anniversary soon.
Oh, yeah. Well, the concept is like over a year old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We started working on it before, like coming up with ideas and stuff.
We recorded our first one in like July, but then it didn't air until like October because we had to figure stuff out.
Yeah. We'll have to do something special for the anniversary. So today's topic is near and dear to our hearts, and the topic is Robsten.
Yes, which is if you're not part of the fandom and you're just listening to be nice, that is the relationship between Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart, which lasted from 2009 until 2013.
Wow.
And yeah, we have a lot to say about that.
But first,
our thoughts on Robert Pattinson potentially being Batman.
Wow. Yep, apparently he's in the talks to play Batman in a movie called The Batman. But it's weird. It's not really 100% certain.
Yeah.
Some articles, the headline says, it's official, Robert Pattinson as Batman. But then when you actually read the text, it's like, oh, it's in talks.
Yeah.
What does that mean? I don't know.
And then Nicholas Hoult is also a potential contender.
I really like him, too. So.
Yeah. They both have been in movies with Kristen Stewart.
True.
And they're both English.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, a lot of people are happy about that. A lot of people were upset about it. We were just discussing, and I think that not that many people are really upset, but the people who are really upset are really loud, and so that makes it seem like everyone's outraged about it, which is triggering for me.
No. We need to do an actual consensus poll of the entire nation to understand how people really feel. But yeah, tell us how you guys feel. So I think we've said in an early episode that neither of us are really into superhero movies. I have seen the Batman movies, though, and I think that they're kind of an exception. I liked them. I never rewatched them or anything, but I liked the Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises and Batman Begins. And honest, if he's in it, I'm seeing it. Oh my god.
Definitely. I'm going to the midnight premiere.
Does that make us obnoxious fake fans? Yes. But you know what? They will make a lot of money off of us.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's a good move.
And just because this is our Robsten episode, a lot of people want Kristen Stewart to play Catwoman.
Is Catwoman even going to be in the movie, though?
That's unsure.
Like, I feel like people are just assuming.
Yeah, no, It's obviously a joke. She would never ever be in the movie. But can we...
I don't think Rob would want to work with her.
I don't think so. I don't think she would want to do it. I don't think that the directors would want that. I don't think most of the DC fans would want that.
Oh my gosh, people are pissed.
But let's humor it for a second. How amazing would that be?
That would be.
Yeah.
No, I'd rather see Rob... this is me just getting carried away. I was going to say, I'd rather see them in some kind of romantic indie movie or something.
Oh, yeah, with Catherine Hardwicke
so beautiful.
directing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love it.
In the summertime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't care to see them in a Batman movie. That would be cool, but...
It would be cool. It's probably not going to happen.
Not on my list of priorities.
I mean, guys that are really into the comics and stuff would hate it if Kristen Stewart was cast.
They would die.
I think there would be actual pitchforks on the street.
Yeah. But I would be freaking out. Obviously, that would never happen. I don't think that they would even be in a movie together ever again just because they are exes.
Yeah.
I don't think that really ever happens.
I know.
Do we ever see that?
I'm like looking around the room. Not that I know of.
Tell us, guys, if there's been an instance of like a celebrity couple that's broken up and then acted in a movie together again.
Yeah, let us
after
know.
they've broken up. I can't think of one right now. It's probably happened.
Probably.
It was like a very mature couple.
Sorry, I always bring it up. On Game of Thrones, too, the actors are exes, but they actually were never in a scene together.
Oh, really?
On purpose.
Oh, wow.
I know. Isn't that kind of dramatic?
That's really dramatic.
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess the actress said that she never wanted to be in a scene with him, and so never was. And even in
Which couple?
Which couple? Sound like your mom. Well, I don't think you know them. It's Lena Headey who plays Cersei.
Okay, no.
She's like the main bitch.
Who's the guy?
And I don't know the actor's name, but he plays Braun. You wouldn't know them, but
okay.
They're actually like, it's incredible that they were never in the same scene. I'll probably just cut this whole thing out.
No, keep it.
Okay, just cut this out.
Yeah, what? Because they were in the same area.
Yeah.
Like, you know how on that show there's people like way up north or people like in the fantasy Middle East or something? They were in like the same kingdom. So it's like weird that they never... Same castle.
Did it make sense that their characters wouldn't be in the same scene, or was it kind of forced?
Because she was like way above him.
Yeah.
Like, she was a queen. He's like a sellsword, so...
Wow.
Yeah. But, yeah.
But they had to see each other at the premieres and stuff.
They did.
That's kind of immature.
It is kind of immature. Like, there was even a scene where her character hired him to kill people, but, like, we didn't even get them to...
That's distracting
Like, he just, like, walked in the room and was like, Susie hired me to do this. And it's like, but we didn't see it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well,
You know.
Blake Lively and Penn Badgley, they broke
True.
up, and then on the
they
show...
kept doing it.
Oh my god. They had to have
God.
scenes together.
And be a couple.
Yeah, and Vampire Diaries.
Oh, yeah, they broke up.
Yeah, and then they still had... But then she did leave the show, Nina Dobrev.
True. I totally forgot about that, yeah.
Yeah.
But they had to keep... I mean, they did a good job. They were fair sports. Penn and Blake.
That's gotta be so hard.
I know. Thank God Rob and Kristen didn't break up before Breaking Dawn.
I know.
I was wondering about that, but you know what? We'll get to it
later.
Because we're going to go in chronological order.
Yes.
Okay. Cue the screaming fangirls. Cue Catherine Hardwicke freaking out. Because it's time to talk about
Robsten.
Rob and Kristen.
So the way we're going to break this up, this is going to be a 2-part episode, and I am tackling the beginning of their relationship, and then Kelly is going to tackle the end.
Yeah. The darker side.
Yes. So this should be a lighter episode. I did so much research for this, and I have to say it was bringing me back, and I was very obsessed with Robsten when I was in high school, in middle school. And since then, I haven't really thought about them too much, except maybe in passing a little bit. And I'm going to save a lot of this for our second part when we talk about how we feel about them now. But it was kind of weird for me doing all this research because it made me realize that I don't really know who they are. And it was just weird to try to piece together their relationship when I was in high school, I felt like I knew who they were.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older and I sort of understand, you know, how life works a little bit more, and I've lived my own experiences, I'm just realizing that we only saw snippets of their lives.
Yeah.
And we have no idea who these people are.
It's true.
So anything that I'm going to do, it's just totally speculative and just based off the little snippets that we've been able to see. But we don't know these people. And so, Rob and Kristen, if you're listening...
As we know you are.
As we know you are. We're so, you know, we're no experts.
Yeah, of course not. Well, I don't think they're listening, but if they were, I would just want to say sorry for all the fans and ourselves in a way. It's like a weird thing because I feel bad about how many people kind of harassed them about their private lives and chased them and I mean, here we are doing an episode about them, but yeah, it's good to remember that they are real people and like there's so much to life, so much more than a picture can capture. Yeah, it's kind of just another fantasy in a way.
Yeah. I was sitting in a meeting today at work and I was thinking about this. And if I was dating one of my coworkers, wouldn't it be so weird if the whole world was shipping us and obsessed with it? Like they were coworkers, really. And I mean, granted, acting is a different kind of job, but it's just weird how much people wanted them together, myself included.
It is weird.
And to me, I kind of think that a lot of that is just because people are so desperate to believe that the story that they're obsessed with, Edward and Bella, is real in real life. But at the same time, Rob and Kristen were almost like their own characters in a way that people made up. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they were so secretive, that people felt like they could just, I don't know, when you give people a little bit, then their imaginations run wild. And I think that it was kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy on their part, where they were so private about their private life because they knew people were obsessed with it. And then that made people obsessed with it even more.
Yeah, I've always felt like I kind of like it when celebrities are more private because it does make them more interesting in a way. But yeah, that definitely made people more speculative and have theories and videos and stuff. So,
well, to me, my obsession with them was pretty similar to my obsession with the JonBenet Ramsey murder. Where it was like, mystery. Did the parents kill her? Did they not? It could go either way. And for a long time I was like, are they dating or are they not? I couldn't really tell. And like that mystery was really the appeal to it.
Yeah, and whenever there was something came out where it looked like they were together, it was like,
it was shocking.
My God, they are together!
Yeah, it was so shocking because they were so good at pretending like they weren't or just like not acknowledging it to like an extreme degree. So, I mean, this is getting ahead of it, but a lot of people have said like, oh, they just did it for the press just to make Twilight make more money. Yeah, they did a horrible job at that. If that was true, 100%. I mean, they didn't even tell anyone. They refused to answer questions about it. They were so awkward about it. If they were supposed to be a fake couple, they did a really bad job. So I don't think that. But I could see them not admitting to it is like, if they were doing it for press, they're not lying to everyone, but they made it seem like they were together, if that was the case. That's another thing, though. Like, has anybody ever come forward and actually said that they dated someone just for the press? Yeah, I find it so hard to believe that happens. I spent like a good part of an afternoon looking that up, and I couldn't find a quote from anybody admitting to it. Like, there were a lot of articles of people assuming that people weren't a real couple, but just for random reasons, like, oh, they only dated for like 3 weeks, or why would they hold hands at the grocery store? But I don't think anyone has actually ever said like, yeah, we only dated because management told us to. I don't know. My friends really believe that Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson were only a publicity stunt, because she apparently said that they were more off and on than people think. But they did get like all these tattoos and stuff. It just seems like way too far. Off and on still means together. Yeah. That doesn't mean it's fake. I do think it's weird when couples are really obnoxious about how in love they are. Like, to be honest, I think they're kind of cute, but Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas, I'm sick of them.
I don't really look at any, I haven't seen what they're up to. I don't really look at any celebrities. But that kind of relates to part 2.
Okay. So I'm just going to take us through a timeline of their relationship.
Okay.
Some of this stuff I remember, most of this stuff I remember, but some of it I'm learning for the first time. So it's very interesting to go back. I feel so creepy. I felt like such a stalker doing this. I just kind of went like month by month in my research and looked up articles that came out around that time. So this is sort of Rob and Kristen and their life in headlines.
Wait, why did you like Rob and Kristen?
Oh, I liked them kind of because of what I said. They were a mystery to me. Mm-hmm. And also I think at the time when I was really obsessed with them, I had no experience in life. And I was really into shipping couples on TV shows. Mm-hmm. And I sort of lived vicariously through that. Yeah. And I think with our celebrity culture, Rob and Kristen became these characters that we felt like we knew. And so it was just an extension of that. And they seemed very interesting. I do think that obviously there was a parallel between Edward and Bella and wanting that couple to be real and that type of love to be real. Mm-hmm. I thought they were very different from their characters, but it was similar in a way that Robert Pattinson was like this gorgeous guy that everyone wanted to be with. Yeah. And Kristen, I think she's really, really cool and unique, but she was very different from the conventional, just like hot actress that we see. And I thought that that was really kind of similar to Twilight in that Robert Pattinson was seemingly so in love with her.
Mm-hmm. I really liked Robsten, and I mean, I loved Belle and Edward, but I was able to separate them pretty well. Yeah. And it made me, they just seemed like the kind of couple and the kind of people that I wanted to be. Like, I really liked how they had messy hair, and I liked the way they dressed, and it seemed like they were into indie rock and indie films and stuff, and they just seemed so freaking cool to me. Like, just seeing pictures of them walking down the street, I loved how messy Robert Pattinson looked, and yeah, I feel like that became my ideal couple in a way, more than Bella and Edward, actually. Like, I wanted to have a relationship like Rob and Kristen, even though I didn't know anything about them, and they didn't really even tell us anything. Like, I don't know what their relationship was like, but just from the outward aesthetic, it looked really great. So. Yeah. Yeah. And like, we, you know, I liked them both as people, and probably Rob especially just because I was like in love with him. But I thought it was really cute, him liking Kristen and Kristen liking him. Like, when I would think about that, it was just really cute. So yeah.
And they did have such a palpable chemistry on screen and off if you watched interviews with them.
Yeah, you could tell that they were just smitten all the time and like embarrassed kind of. And,
yeah.
It seemed like they had a crush nonstop for like years, which is weird. Like, how do you even keep that up?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was so cute.
Okay, where does it begin?
Okay, so it begins when Kristen Stewart is 17 and Robert Pattinson is 21. They're babies.
Nothing happened to me when I was 17.
No, and she is dating actor Michael Angarano, with whom she co-starred in the movie Speak 2 years prior. Kristen basically already has the part for Bella in Twilight, and the next part is casting Robert Pattinson. And I'm gonna let Catherine Hardwicke take it away.
You know, I think it's always important to like have that chemistry read. You know, like, you have to be sure that the two actors in a love story actually get along with each other and have some sparks, right? So that's why I said, okay, let's not do it at a casting office, which those are usually really cold and sterile. Let's go over to my house and we'll just do it like really chill, like really casual. So I picked my top 4 guys, like my top 4 bachelors, and then Kristen, I said, Kristen, you're going to have to come over for like a day and a half. You're going to have to do scenes with the favorite 4 guys and make out with 4 different hot guys, you know. Would that be good or bad for most of you guys in the audience? Well, she suffered through it, and when we got to when we got to Rob, we did the kissing scene in my bedroom, on my bed, which is now a special, special bed to be sold on eBay someday in the future. But, and, they were so passionate, like right then, and it was just like electric and radical that's why we had to have Rob. Yeah.
So Kristen basically handpicked Rob to play Edward. And I have a clip here of Edward talking, of Rob here talking about why he wanted to be in Twilight. And this is them on set of the first Twilight, and they're being interviewed by MTV. And it's very flirty. I remember watching this clip before the movie came out, and it's just very flirty and cute, and I wanted to play it.
Tell us something that you've noticed about her acting style that most impresses you, and maybe you could say something that's blown you away about Robert.
Kristen's the best actress of our generation, and that's why I wanted to do this movie. And I don't know why she is. She's just better than everybody else. Maybe we should just leave that. Maybe we should leave that. Oh.
What's impressed you the most about him so far?
I think he's really handsome.
Yeah, so it just seemed like they were like really flirty on set. I think
That's really flirty.
Yeah, and Rob said he saw it on Into the Wild. And so since then he knew he wanted to work with Kristen. Like I said, Kristen has a boyfriend of 2 years, and during this time Rob is rumored to be hooking up with Nikki Reed. There's not much evidence of that, except I found this picture online where Nikki is holding his crotch in a group photo.
God, is that real?
I think so.
He looks so weird in it, though. Like, he looks so serious.
Isn't that weird? I don't know. I mean, I can definitely see them hooking up. So, yeah, but they weren't dating. I think he said, especially when Twilight came out, that he was single. And I actually saw an interview with him where he said that the production company was giving him just, like, girls in different cities to hang out with.
That's so weird.
For publicity. I don't know why.
What?
But he wasn't
giving him girls?
I don't know what that really means, but that like in every single city he had like a girl that they set him up with.
Why couldn't that have been me?
I know.
12
years
super
old.
awkward.
This leads us to the 2008 press tour for Twilight.
Wow.
I have a clip of Rob on Ryan Seacrest where he talks about his connection with Kristen.
Could you fall in love with Kristen Stewart?
Oh yeah, she's amazing.
There's that quote.
I just like making her life really difficult.
Well, I mean, it's and help us understand it. And you said that you said earlier that you're not really an actor, but it's got to be bizarre to sit with this girl, a beautiful girl, and develop this type of chemistry, which we all sort of look for in real life, have that instant chemistry, and then not develop feelings for her.
It's really strange. Well, you do though. You do until, but then like when it's funny how, that's the sort of the damage you have for trying to do anything real in acting. Like you kind of you leave jobs and with both people feeling like they have no idea who the other one is. And they're just like, it's this horrible experience afterwards.
And so during this press tour, I think a big thing that wouldn't inevitably fuel all the rumors of their relationship is a lot of the talking points. I think they were very comfortable at this point, and they didn't know how big Twilight was going to be. So Rob kind of jokes a lot about how he was in love with Kristen. He talks a lot about how he proposed to her on set. That. I have an interview here. Where
Do you think that actually happened? I remember like a wicked long time ago.
Yeah.
Him saying for some reason I pictured it backstage, but now I'm like, backstage where? Maybe at a press thing?
I think he just said that he would do it all the time. I have a clip here. I think it's it's a joke though.
Amazing romance on the screen. Is there anything off screen at all between you two?
Yeah, I mean, I asked her to marry me like 4 times. Then,
No lie?
It didn't really go anywhere. Just fizzled out.
I'm so sorry about that. Maybe you'll reconsider.
Oh, no, man. I have acquired, like, a good buddy, and that's a big deal.
All right.
Yeah, that's totally a joke.
Yeah. But of course, different articles are going to take that and spin it and make it seem like he really did propose.
I can't believe Ryan Seacrest asked, could you fall in love with Kristen Stewart?
I know.
What the heck kind of question is that?
I know, but I think Brian can ask that. He's like so well established.
So awkward.
Yeah.
It'd be awkward to say no to, like, oh, no. I feel like you have to just say, like, we're just friends. You can't answer that yes or no.
Yeah, exactly.
No, not my type.
And here's a clip of Rob talking about an interviewer asked about if it's true that he proposed, and this is what he says.
The chemistry between you and Kristen is amazing. What did you do to kind of perfect that? Because I read that you followed her around for days and you proposed to her. Is this true?
Oh yeah, we were going to get married for a long time.
What about her boyfriend? Did he know?
Who cares?
What about the boyfriend?
Yeah, what about the boyfriend?
Rob!
So I think that they were... I feel like they were just very comfortable with each other and they were such good friends, and so they didn't know how big it was going to be, so they didn't care about being like flirty and stuff in interviews.
I could see the tour fueling a lot of flirtation. I mean,
yeah.
If you think about it, the Hunger Games, their tour on the train after, that's where a lot of stuff happened.
Yeah. And they're traveling to all these different countries.
Yeah.
Well, actually, so that takes me to February 2009 when they are spotted. I guess, I don't know why they were still promoting it 2 months later, but they were spotted in a Japanese bar. And this is according to Fan Pop. I don't know if it's true, but witnesses saw them being very flirty together in the bar, and this is what they say. So Kristen sided up immediately to Rob, sitting right next to him, looking up, smiling at him, laughing at everything he said, and acting very single, so to speak. He was leaning close to her all night and kept putting his hand on her back, whispering into her ear. It got to the point that Rob and Kristen were too drunk and cuddly that their managers had to separate them, moving them away from each other, but not before they exchanged a knowing look with each other. Even from across the bar, though, they apparently kept stealing glances at each other for the rest of the night.
Oh my god. I wonder if that's true.
Yeah.
Why were they across the bar after, though?
Yeah.
It seems a little dramatic.
Yeah. I mean...
Why would she still have a boyfriend? Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she was only like... Her boyfriend was basically like a high school boyfriend, you know? I don't know how real of a relationship that is.
Probably felt like, oh, we've been together so long. Like, she probably did love Michael. They probably... were really good friends.
Yeah.
So it must have been hard. Listening to this, though, you're like, why wouldn't she just break up with him right now?
Yeah.
Also, the fact that, like, she kind of chose him to be Edward and that he said that he was interested in her before they even met, really, does make me think that they obviously were attracted to each other.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And Kristen has said, like, a lot of things about the project could fall short, but the most important thing was having the right chemistry with the person playing Edward. So I think that, of course, like, she was probably... I just cut this out. I repeated everything you said.
Okay, just cut this out.
Yo, what?
So this brings us to the filming of New Moon. And Michael Angarano is seen on set several times in the beginning, but he's last seen on set in April. I think just... around Kristen's birthday. So once it's been a while since he's been seen on set, rumors fly that they broke up. And everybody thinks that it's because of Robert Pattinson. And there's not really much evidence of this during this time, besides reports that they were going out one-on-one a lot more in bars in Vancouver, and reports that they were seen kissing in a bar, but who knows if that's true. There's no pictures. And there's also pictures of Rob and Kristen hanging out with Kristen's mom. And like Rob hugging Kristen's mom, Jules Stewart. And so people thought like, oh, why is he, you know, why does he have a rapport with the mom, you know? And they celebrate Rob's birthday together with friends and his parents, but of course, like, she's also a friend, so that would make sense. You know, at this point, I remember reading all this stuff and thinking it was totally a rumor. I wasn't really that invested in their relationship at this point.
It does sound, though, like, wow, why would she join a friend and family party? They haven't known each other that long.
Yeah. I don't know if any of the other New Moon actors were there. But I think people believe that this is the first time that Kristen was introduced to Rob's parents as his girlfriend.
Whoa.
But what do we know? So then they win Best Kiss at the MTV Movie Awards for the first time. And this was just really hot. They like go and they almost kiss. And I think this is what made everybody want them together because it was just really steamy.
And the fact that they didn't kiss, like they get so close.
Yeah.
It was like Twilight in that way.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
They were really holding off. Oh my god. I remember being so angry that they didn't kiss.
Yeah.
But the other day I was actually watching all of the MTV Movie Award kisses ever.
I watched the same thing.
It didn't used to be like, they didn't used to always kiss.
Yeah.
That only started in sort of more recent years. Like at first they would kind of just be like, thank you, gee, and then like get off the stage.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what year started it. Then they started doing the thing where they would kiss when they win.
It's kind of a weird tradition.
The year after, I think, was Step Up 2, and I was so like grossed out, but I don't know if the actors were dating.
Oh, that was the year before, I think.
Oh, the year before, yeah.
It's so gross. I watched the same thing.
Yeah.
It's so awkward.
I'm guessing they were together because they were all over each other. The guy was like kissing her neck and walking behind her, and it was so over the top, and I felt so weird.
Yeah.
Also, who voted for them?
Oh,
Step Up 2?
There must have been nothing that year. But have you seen the one with Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams?
Yeah.
That one is amazing.
I know.
I feel like that's the one that set the expectation.
Rob and Kristen should have done something like that.
Yeah. Well, but this first year, I think that's...
It was really exciting.
Yeah. So then that summer, they went off on different coasts. Kristen was filming The Runaways in LA, and Rob was filming Remember Me in NYC. They briefly reunite several times that summer, once to attend Comic-Con for New Moon.
Oh.
And this, I don't really have much to say about this, but I don't really have much evidence for this, but Kristen kind of seemed like a mess at this Comic-Con. Do you remember it?
Yeah, I think so.
I just remember feeling like they were very nervous and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Kristen had the mullet for Joan Jett, so I feel like that's why I'm saying that. There's an interview where they're talking and she's like not listening to anything he's saying, and then he's very observant of that. He's just so like weird. He's distracted by how she's not paying attention.
That's weird.
Yeah, and she's like going out of her way to not pay attention to what he's saying. They just seem very nervous. And they don't even sit next to each other on the panel.
Yeah.
Which I think is weird.
That is weird.
They also reunite for the Teen Choice Awards and then the VMAs, where Kristen has like a cute little bob cut, so the mullet's gone.
I wonder if like their relationship wasn't really official or something.
Yeah.
And then they hadn't seen each other in a while, and maybe we're just speculating.
Yeah.
Maybe things were kind of weird or whatever, and I don't know.
Yeah. No, I was thinking like when you first start dating someone, it's not serious right away. So that must have been so weird to have all these rumors going around that they were in love and getting married so early on in a relationship, especially when Kristen's only like 19 years old.
Yeah.
So then in fall 2009, they reunite to film Eclipse.
Wow.
And this is when people really started to believe they were dating because they were photographed looking really, really cozy at a Kings of Leon concert.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
Yes. All the cast went together, but they're off in their own little bubble.
It really looks like they're kissing, or like they're talking so close to each other.
Yeah, and there's so many pictures like this. All the pictures of them, they're all cuddled up to each other.
And a Kings of Leon concert.
Yeah. They're just making it very obvious that their sex was on fire. They're like whispering.
And they both always did the thing where they play with their hair.
Yeah. Even still here, they could just be, it could be really loud and they could just be whispering to each other. And then the time comes for them to promote New Moon. And at this point, everyone's asking if they're dating. And they don't fess up to it. And I have here a clip of Kristen talking about that.
When people are constantly berating you and asking you, are you and Rob dating? What goes through your mind and what do you say to them?
The only way that I'm able to stay sane is to protect myself, and like I know that it doesn't matter how you answer a question, it's gonna like tip. Someone's gonna say she's totally with him, or no, I don't think she is. So it's sort of like I don't care. You just have to seriously be like, have it all. Take my, you know what I mean? Just like, you want my shoes? Here you go. What size do you wear? Right. It's sort of like you just have to not really worry about it. I'm not ashamed of anything, so it's sort of when asked why don't I make my life easier and just like say why,
Right.
do you think it would stop there? Like they would continue? It's not like they would say, okay, cool, we're gonna stop waiting outside your house. We're gonna stop following you around.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. So I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Cool, but that makes it sound like you are together.
Yeah. Exactly.
If you weren't, you just say we're not.
Yeah, exactly. What a smart way for Maria Menounos to ask that question.
What do you say to them?
Yeah, what do you say to people who ask you if you're together? So just being like, are you together?
I'm not going to ask, but what do you say to people who do?
Yeah. It makes it sound like she's on her side. She's a friend and she understands.
So sneaky.
Yeah. Also, I thought it was funny because Kristen told Entertainment Weekly, I've thought about this a lot. There's no answer that's going to tip you one way or the other. Think about every hypothetical situation. Okay, we are. We aren't. I'm a lesbian. I'm just trying to keep something, she said. Which is funny because now she dates girls.
I know. She must have known.
I wondered, I feel like this is not my place to speculate this, but I wonder if because she was confused about her sexuality or something, she didn't want to be open about her relationship.
Maybe.
I feel like that's not my place to say it.
True.
But so neither of them answered the question. Jimmy Kimmel asks when they're on there with Taylor, and he asks Taylor like what's going on with them, and Taylor doesn't say. Ryan Seacrest asks Rob this time around, and Rob's publicist actually cuts him off and cuts the interview short, which is really awkward.
Whoa.
Yeah, so then afterwards, Ryan Seacrest was talking about that on his show with like some of his radio hosts, and he was saying it was just really awkward. No one's ever done that to him, and Robert Pattinson was very gracious about it, but the manager obviously was like very strict, like no Kristen questions.
Yeah.
Which makes it seem like they are dating. Like, why is it so
secretive
like that? I mean, it's kind of a natural.
That's so obvious.
I think it's a rude question to ask, but of course people are going to ask it. That's just kind of how Hollywood works.
Yeah.
You know? I just think that they could have had answers prepared for that.
Why can't they just say, like, we're good friends?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. They could have just said we're good friends and I don't want to talk about my personal life or something.
I do think it's an invasion of privacy, but I also think it is kind of common for people to ask. Even if you meet a random stranger, maybe at a party or whatever, a lot of times the question ends up to, like, if you're older or something, like, are you married? Or, like, oh, are you seeing anybody? Like, people just want to know.
Yeah.
And it's surprising to me that they don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, yeah.
You think when were they going to finally talk about it?
Yeah, exactly.
They're like 50?
I know. I mean, as we'll go through, it gets more obvious as time goes on, but I think that just invites people to let their own imaginations run wild, and that fueled rumors even more. They could have just said, we're dating, but I don't want to talk about it. Like, it's just kind of weird that they, like, never admitted to it.
Maybe they were doing, like, a weird polygamous relationship or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't figure it out. Like, why so secretive?
Yeah. And maybe it was kind of, like, hot that it was so secretive for them.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It was probably exciting.
Then they also do a photo shoot together for Harper's Bazaar, which really makes it seem like they're dating even more. It's so romantic.
Yeah.
And the interview is kind of like a couple interview. And the interviewer writes, at the moment, there's only one thing anyone cares about regarding these two. Who, as Twilight's Bella and Edward, manifest all our vampire romance fetishes? Are they dating or what? Well, it's clear that Rob and Kristen are close. Very close. Okay, who is the most romantic then? I have a no bullshit detector, says Kristen, so I'd have to say Rob is. I think romance is anything honest. As long as it's honest, it's so disarming. Rob chuckles and asks the same question. I don't know. What's it Kristen say? That's a horrible accent, but whatever. You. No, I'm better at faking it. Oh, God. Whatever, keep it in. This is followed by a very long laugh. Those questions are just very, like you're asking a couple of them. And then they are photographed holding hands getting on a plane from London to France for a press party at the very end of the press tour.
Oh my God.
Do you remember this?
I think so, yeah.
Do you want me to show you a picture?
Yeah. Friends don't just hold hands.
Nope.
Even though Jacob says they do in Twilight, but whatever.
I actually remember seeing this picture for the first time on Entertainment Tonight.
So cute.
And you were at my house. And I remember my mom was like, look, Rob and Kristen are holding hands. And this is when I was like, oh, maybe they are dating. Because before then, I like didn't really care. To me, the picture is still blurry enough that you could make the argument that they're just standing close to each other and that they're not actually holding hands.
They are really close together, though.
Yeah. You can kind of see his, like, hand wrapped around her hand. For the holidays that year, Christmas 2009, they spent Christmas in London together, and there's actually a picture of them online that was leaked from one of Robert Pattinson's relatives or something, of them in his living room with his parents.
Yeah, I remember
for
that.
Christmas. And
crazy.
It's pretty invasive. Like, it's really sad that someone linked that photo, but it kind of confirms that, like, they were pretty serious even at that point, that she spent, like, the holidays with his family.
Yeah.
And it's funny, they're, like, not smiling in the picture. And he has,
Look
like,
at them, their little Christmas decorations.
Yeah. His messy hair.
Oh my god.
He has his arm around her and she's holding his hand. It's cute. And then shortly after New Year's, a Twilight fan posed with them separately outside of a convenience store in London.
Oh wow.
And then they supposedly spent New Year's on the Isle of Wight for New Year's, which is where they would spend several other New Year's as well. Became a little tradition for them.
Wow.
People had seen them on the island. So then March 2010, Kristen attends the Remember Me premiere, and she walks solo on the red carpet, and this surprises people because I think she decided to go last minute or something. No one knew that she was going. And there's photos of her at the after party, and she's hanging out with his sisters.
Wow.
Then a week later is the Runaways premiere, and Rob does not attend.
Why am I laughing so hard at that? And Rob does not attend.
I just had to check to see if he did. He didn't.
Interesting.
Yeah. She actually, in my research, it seems like she went to more of his premieres than he went to hers.
Interesting.
And I'm wondering if that's because, like, she really wanted to go or if he really wanted her there.
Maybe.
Or if, like, she didn't want him at her premieres.
No, it's like...
Or if he didn't want to go.
I don't know.
I actually don't know who was the upper hand in this relationship. I can't tell.
I used to always think that Rob was the one that was the most in love.
Yeah. But then I thought it was the opposite. So I don't know. We'll never know. Then April of that year, Kristen flew to Budapest to spend her birthday with Rob while he was filming Bellamy. And they were filmed together at the airport. So she flew across
It's official.
the world.
They're together.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
Yeah. Obviously, they're together now.
And there's so many times that they were spotted at the airport flying places when it was not work-related.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Then that spring, they accept Best Kiss at the MTV Movie Awards again, and they kind of kissed. Do you think they kissed?
I don't know.
They like
it's hard to tell.
They do this like little bit where they're like, "Oh, we're so awkward," and they like bump into each other.
Yeah.
And then it seems like he like goes in for a kiss, but it's really quick, and you can't really see it.
The MTV Movie Award kisses make me cringe, to be honest.
Yeah.
I have trouble watching them. They also seem really planned.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
Which I hate because I don't believe that their relationship was fake, but those things seem fake to me.
Imagine how nerve-wracking that is. Kristen is already so awkward, and he's like accepting awards.
Yeah.
And then doing it with Rob. But then Rob, at that award show, he thanks Kristen in his acceptance speech. And he says, quote, "She's the linchpin of the whole series." Okay, so then we're at the 2010 Eclipse press tour.
Wow.
And again, they don't answer any questions about their relationship, but they seem a lot more comfortable this time around. They're not as like nervous as they were for the New Moon press tour. And Oprah actually asked them about their relationship, and I have a clip of that.
You know, there are all these rumors about the two of you. I'm not going to ask her because she's so shy. She's not going to tell me. But there are all these rumors about the two of you dating. Is it true?
Kristen's pregnant.
He really loves to, like, shock people because he thinks it's funny. No. We've actually had this he's having the baby because imagine a baby coming out of this thing. I mean, like, that's just not going to happen.
So you're going to have the baby?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We know that the newborns are harder to deal with.
They just laugh it off.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, they're dating. Like, who would say that?
I know.
Like, be comfortable enough to make that joke. It's kind of funny that he said that.
Yeah.
What does she mean, imagine a baby coming out of this thing?
I don't know. I know, right? Like,
kinda-
how skinny I am
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
I
bet afterwards she felt like, oh, that was awkward.
Yeah. Imagine a baby coming out of me. Not possible.
Yeah. That was a quick response of Oprah, though.
Mm-hmm.
Newborns are harder.
Mm-hmm.
Oprah's such a good interviewer. I love her.
Mm-hmm.
Another cute moment I found, they're at a convention and the cast is asked about what their favorite films outside of the Twilight series is.
Mm-hmm.
And Rob says The Runaways. And everyone
No way.
freaks out. Everyone's like, oh my God. And Kristen looks all nervous and then she says, remember me.
That's really sweet.
And then Taylor Lautner says Gladiator and The Notebook.
That's really sweet because those aren't really the type of movies that are your favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah. And then Rob adds, in Shark Boy and Lava Girl, but
they just totally leave Taylor out.
Poor Taylor Lautner is the biggest third wheel. He must have felt so awkward on all these press tours.
That sucks. It sucks for him.
Yeah.
Did anybody else go on them? Like any of the other actors?
During that question, it was just the three of them on stage. And there's actually a part when Rob and Kristen are just whispering to each other while Taylor's talking and no one's really paying attention to what he's saying, I think. And so then he actually moves his chair away from them so he can just talk and not be distracted by
Taylor.
them. Yeah.
I wonder if he likes them.
He's still friends with Kristen. It seems like he chose Kristen's side and everything.
Interesting.
I mean, I don't know if there are sides, but I don't think he's friends with Rob anymore.
Were they ever friends?
I think they were. I don't know. They're probably close. Doing a movie franchise like this, you're forced to see these people all the time.
They're probably cool with each other.
Yeah. Even if Rob and Kristen didn't have that instant chemistry, you had to think that they spent so much time together. Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot to say, at the New Moon premiere, they didn't even pose together on the red carpet. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
She posed with Taylor, but she wasn't even photographed.
That's going out of your way.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? They're the two, they're Edward and Bella. They didn't even pose together.
What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
They're the main characters.
Yeah. But then they did pose together at the Eclipse premiere. And I just have to say that the body language speaks for itself. You see the pictures I posted on our Instagram?
Yeah.
From the Eclipse premiere?
Yeah.
Where they're just looking at each other all lovey-dovey and she's holding his suit really hard, scrunching
she always did that.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, but people you do not do that to your friend.
No, that suit is probably so expensive.
Yeah, but even besides that, just somebody that you're friends with, that's really intimate. You don't just hold their chest.
Yeah. During this time also, a rumor started circulating that someone in Rob's inner circle, a musician named Lee McDougall, who was friends with his sister Lizzie Pattinson, wrote a song called Falling in Love for the First Time. And in the song, the narrator is talking about being in love with a girl who has green eyes who's dating someone else. And so a lot of Robsten fans took that to be a Robsten anthem and actually believe that Rob wrote the song for Lee. And it was believed that you can hear Rob's laugh at the end of the song. But the musician eventually shut this down and said that he wrote the song. And actually I saw this interview with him and it was so awkward and cringeworthy because the interviewer only asked questions about Robert Pattinson, asks if the guy has seen Twilight and what Rob is like, and it just made me so sad. So I'm not gonna spend too much longer on this song because I think that it was taken out of context and it has nothing to do with Robert Pattinson other than people wanted it to be about Robsten.
Yeah.
But you can look it up and decide for yourself. So then, it's summer 2010. And Kristen goes to Montreal to film On the Road. And here, Rob is photographed on set, cuddling up to her.
Wow.
Nuzzling her face. Here's a picture.
Oh, Beastie Boys shirt.
Yeah, and it says, get off my dick on the back. Yeah. And she was photographed wearing it recently.
I know.
Oh my God.
Guys, K-Stu was wearing this Rob shirt from 2010, literally this year.
Yeah, a month ago.
Yeah.
So
same shirt. It says "Get off my dick" on the back.
Yeah. And then during this same trip, they're photographed kissing in an alley.
Wow.
Have you seen these pictures? Kissing. They're really blurry, but
oh yes, I've seen this.
Yeah, they're super blurry. And Rob's friend Tom Sturridge,
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
He's in the background. He's on the road as well. And they're also photographed at the airport together. Going and leaving. He's got a guitar with him.
Wow.
Oh, and
so hip.
They took some pictures with some fans.
And obviously they're together because why would her co-star just go visit her while she's filming?
Yeah. I guess.
Doesn't happen.
Devil's advocate. His best friend was in the same movie. Maybe he's visiting a friend. But clearly they're kissing here. I mean, look at that. Can you even picture them, like, kissing in real life? That's the thing. It's like I couldn't really picture it, even though I could.
Yeah.
Because who they were to us in interviews and stuff, they were flirty, but they just were so private that it was hard to picture them doing normal couple things. And it looks like she's wearing his pants or something. They're really baggy. Oh, and they were seen on the plane together holding hands, I guess.
That's adorable.
Can you imagine sitting behind them?
No. I'd probably put my tape recorder up to them or something.
I wanted to say, my mom always asks, like, do you think Rob and Kristen will get back together? And I'll save my answer to that for the next episode. But she's always like, well, maybe you could date Rob. And I was thinking, if I was dating Rob, which first of all would never happen, I would always be like, so do you still think about your ex? You can text her if you want.
I've always thought the same thing. That if I dated Rob, I'd be like, tell me all about your relationship. Yeah. I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I want to know.
Every detail. Yeah.
Do you have old pictures?
Yeah.
Can I read them?
I'd be like the least jealous girlfriend ever.
Yeah. But she can come over if you want.
I don't care. Yeah, hang out with her.
I'll just be in the other room.
Yeah. So then around this time, I remember this perfectly, the Eclipse commentary came out.
Oh, yeah.
And somehow I found a bootleg version of this that I was able to download and put on my MP3 player, and I would just listen to it all the time that summer. And I just remember listening to this commentary, that they were definitely dating because Kristen just, like, laughs at everything he says. And it seems like a different side to her than we see in interviews. She's just, like, very bubbly and very flirty. It was so cute.
I need to watch that again.
I have a clip. I found many clips on Tumblr that were way cuter, but I couldn't figure out how to download those.
Yeah.
So this is the only clip I found on YouTube.
Let's hear it.
She's not sure what she wants.
Yes, she is.
Angry. Wait for her to say the words. Fine.
Words. What? Yeah.
Just goofing around.
Just goofing. The whole thing is goofing around. There's that one part when she's like, "Are you drunk right now?" And he's like, "No, I'm not drunk. I'm gonna drive later." And she's like, "Oh my god, that's not a good idea." It's so cute. I highly recommend. I was listening to all these different
I need to watch
clips.
it again.
Yeah. I mean, would you guys want to see an episode? Our commentary on the commentary.
Yeah, does anybody want that?
Yeah. If we run out of ideas.
Which we never will, by the way.
No, we have a long list. Then it's fall 2010, and they are photographed on a few date nights, I guess. Like, just doing kind of normal couple things. Witnesses always describe them as having a lot more PDA than we expect, and just holding hands a lot and being very affectionate. All insiders always said that you could just tell that they were very in love.
Wow.
So then, that fall, they leave to film Breaking Dawn in Baton Rouge, and then Vancouver, and then Rio de Janeiro. I actually don't know if that's the correct order, but they film in those 3 locations. And I remember watching, I think I was in my freshman year of high school here, just footage of them filming the honeymoon scenes in Brazil. But then there's parts during those scenes when the cameras aren't rolling where they're still holding hands and being really cute and affectionate. It's hard to tell, like, when they're filming, but you can see in them that they're still showing PDA off camera.
I remember that.
And it's reported that they were seen riding bikes together in Baton Rouge. Don't know if that's true, no pictures. And it's there where they adopt a dog together, Bear, from a kill shelter. Do you remember this?
Well, yeah, I do, but I kind of forgot.
Yeah, and it's
a dog together.
Yeah, and it's thought that originally it was said that Bear was Rob's dog, but later Kristen refers to it as her dog in interviews. And actually, I think, not to skip ahead to your section, but when they break up, I think one of the publicity tools they use to show that they're still together is interviewers ask in separate interviews with Rob and Kristen, like, how's your dog doing? And they both talk about Bear and then this other dog that they get, Bernie. So it's like obvious that they both have the same dog. So obviously it's both of their dogs. And Kristen was later photographed walking it too when Rob was away.
I can't believe they got a dog together. That's serious.
I don't think that either of them have either of those dogs now.
What happened to them?
I don't know. I mean, they could be dead now.
True.
But
maybe they were old when they adopted them.
Bear was a puppy.
Oh. They should still be alive.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't walk them anymore. Maybe somebody else does for them or something. I don't know. How could they just get rid of their dogs? It's not possible.
I think Rob got custody of them when they broke up. I think they were, like, officially Rob's dogs. But Kristen referred to them as her dogs, too.
You think Rob doesn't have them anymore?
I don't think so. I tried to look into it. There's been no mention of these dogs since they were together.
What the hell? This is a mystery.
I don't know.
We need to have a whole episode about this. We need to investigate.
Let us know.
What happened to the dogs?
Yeah, if you guys know, let us know. I mean, I didn't dig deep into this, but from what I've seen, I don't think either of them have the dogs anymore.
I'll be actually really upset if that's true.
Yeah. Like,
I don't want to think that Rob's the kind of person that just gets rid of his dog.
Yeah. I mean, he could have kept it. Maybe when he was single, he felt like he couldn't take care of it because Kristen took care of it when he was away.
Maybe he just hasn't been photographed with the dogs.
I have no idea.
Maybe they just play in the backyard but don't really go on walks.
Yeah, but he was photographed a lot with them when he had them. So why would he just stop walking them? I think it's believed during this time that this is when they started living together. I think they both had separate houses, but they were seen always at each other's houses. And it makes sense that they would start kind of living together when they were filming together.
Yeah.
For
crazy,
Breaking Dawn. Yeah.
And how old is she at this point?
I want to say she's 21.
Wow.
So very young.
Yeah.
I feel like at the time I didn't realize how young they were.
I know. I think I back then thought 21 was way older than it is.
Actually, she might be 20 here. So then that year they spend Christmas apart, but we're seen together on the Isle of Wight for the second year in a row. And there's a photograph of them seemingly kissing at midnight, I think. It's like the back of their heads. So then, this was a big moment. They're photographed holding hands leaving the Water for Elephants premiere. And then they're in the limo. Do you remember this?
No. Wait, yes I do. Yes I do.
Rob goes in for a kiss in the limo.
Yeah, I remember.
But Kristen kind of dodges it.
That's so bold of him. See, I always thought he was more into it. Like, I always got the sense that even though he always said he wanted his privacy and stuff, I always got the sense that he wanted to be open.
Yeah, me
their relationship.
too. I always think that he kind of like wanted to show her off. They look so happy in it. They probably like were a little tipsy, you know. And he had to have known that like the cameras were flashing at that point. And actually, they hold hands getting into the limo in front of all the paparazzi. So at this point, they're like
pretty open.
Yeah, they're pretty open.
My gosh. Yeah, I remember all this on Tumblr, freaking out in my room, talking to you.
And then at the Berlin premiere, a reporter asks Rob where his girlfriend is.
Yes!
He laughs and says, she's back in LA.
Classic.
I don't have a sound clip because there's like a stupid translator over it.
It's amazing. That was one of the highest highs of the relationship. Like when he said that, that's confirming. That's confirmation. They're together. She's back in LA.
Yeah. Oh, she's back in LA.
She's back in LA.
That was a big deal. Oh, and I forgot to say that at the Water for Elephants premiere, insiders say that Kristen sat with Rob's family, him and his family, the whole night, and he had his arms around her. And that they were very cute and seemed very in love. So then it's June 2011, and Rob and Kristen attend the MTV Movie Awards again, and they don't kiss. Rob kisses Taylor Lautner.
I was getting really sick of that.
Yes. But they seem very flirty here, and maybe I'm analyzing this too much, but in the clip, when they're on stage,
Mhm.
it seems like she calls him honey.
Yeah, I think I heard that too.
I'm going to play this.
I just think there's someone else in the audience who I just think will appreciate it a little more. And I just want to do it. In fact, I think I know he will.
Go get him, honey. Go get him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I hear. So then he kisses Taylor Lautner and he goes back up on stage, and it's kind of awkward because he like goes to embrace her.
Yeah.
And she freaks out. And here's the clip.
What? I want to take you backstage.
Yeah, so awkward.
Yeah, but that seemed like very flirty. I want to take you backstage.
Mhm.
I want to kiss backstage. And then there's footage of them backstage and they're holding hands and just looking cute.
Why do you have to react like that? Like,
Yeah.
It's a little over the top.
Yeah. Do you think that he was going to go in for the kiss there?
Yeah.
You think he was going to kiss her?
Yeah.
On stage?
Yeah, but I think he knew that she wasn't going to let him.
Yeah. So
I almost think it was planned.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
She sounds like she was taken off guard. I think he was just gonna like run up and take her backstage.
So it really irritated me. 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
They won and never actually kissed.
Well, then they win the 4th year and he's not even there.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah. I know. Couldn't they have just like pecked?
Or a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah. But
Hug?
I actually really liked what they did. I thought it was funny. Poor Taylor.
Poor Taylor.
It's like, oh, we have to figure out some way to not kiss each other again this year.
I know. Jeez, just do it.
So then,
God.
I know. For us.
You're actors.
I
Just
know.
fake it. How did Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams do it? Step Up 2 people did it.
So then, summer 2011, Rob starts filming Cosmopolis, which requires him to have a really bad haircut, where it's like half of his head is shaved off. During this time, I think he films that in LA. I don't think he might have to go somewhere, but I don't know. During this time, the cast attends the Comic-Con for Breaking Down Part 1. And Rob and Kristen have a really cute interview that they do together. I don't have a sound clip from that because the whole thing was cute, so it was really hard for me to pick just like one thing. But like they're in really great spirits and they're just laughing at everything that they both say, and it was adorable. I watched so much Comic-Con clips for this. It was so hard to put like one sound clip in, because everything was so cute. There was one point when a fan compliments Rob's back muscles in the trailer, and Kristen says, "See, I told you."
Oh my god.
Yeah. So.
See, I told you.
Oh, also in the Eclipse commentary, I couldn't download this clip, but when they're watching the leg hitching scene, Rob's like, "Oh, ooh," and then Kristen just goes, "Let's see some of that chest hair."
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh my god, I remember that. I feel like I'm 84 years old or something.
I know.
I'm like remembering my childhood. Oh, I remember that now.
We have to watch the commentary. Oh my god.
Maybe I'll watch it tonight. Maybe I'll listen to it.
Yeah.
At least.
Oh god, I have to figure out a way to put it on my phone. So then it's fall 2011. And Kristen starts filming Snow White and the Huntsman.
Voice got all nasally there.
This is directed by Rupert Sanders. Remember that name.
Remember that name. Don't forget it.
But that's
It'll come back to haunt you.
That's not important right now. So then it's October 2011, and in an interview with British...
Fall time.
Yes, fall time in London.
Beautiful.
Yes. And the air is a bit crisp.
It's very crisp. The leaves are changing.
You know, the breaking down is coming around the corner.
It's around the corner.
Part 1. And Kristen is asked about her relationship. No, sorry. Kristen is... I'm going to do an American accent. Kristen slips when she is asked if she's excited to spend more time in London. And she says, "My boyfriend is English," quote.
I remember that too.
Yes.
Tumblr, everybody in the fandom
freaked out. What I don't like is later at like conventions and stuff, people yelled like, "My boyfriend is English," out loud to see how she'd react. It's like, how embarrassing.
I know. Guys.
Yeah.
please.
Even though I was obsessed with them, I kind of hated whenever like fans or interviewers mentioned Robsten.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
It makes me cringe because it makes them uncomfortable.
And it makes us seem pathetic.
Yeah.
Okay, I know we have a Twilight podcast, so that's already out the window. But I don't know. Even though I do love Rob and Kristen and, certain singers and stuff, I don't really like to think of celebrities as, like, above us. Because I don't think that they are. And so I don't like it when people act like celebrities are gods or something. Or like, look at me, look at me, look at me. Yeah. Like, it makes me sad because I think that everybody is just as important as Rob and Kristen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If we met them, we'd probably be speechless and not be able to say anything, but I would like to think that I wouldn't be like, Rob, oh my god!
Oh god, did you see Kristen?
Oh yeah! So then, the interviewer for GQ, because Kristen kind of slipped and said that like during a fitting or something. She didn't really tell the interviewer that her boyfriend was English. So she follows up about that, and Kristen says that she wouldn't have said that if she knew that lady was going to be interviewing her. But then she adds, "Come on, it's so obvious." So
cool.
It's true. Yeah. So Kristen's like
owning up to it.
Yeah, she's owning up. Then we have the Breaking Dawn Part 1 press tour, and the running gag this time around is that it was a real priest who did the wedding scene in Breaking Dawn. And so that Kristen and Rob are legally married. And that the real priest kept saying, like, their real names or whatever. It's a stupid thing. They talk about it on Ellen, whatever. And another big thing is that the sex scene was too racy. They got too into it, so they had to cut it because it didn't fit into a PG-13 movie.
I kind of doubt that.
No, I think it was too racy.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't think that that's that big of a deal because they were always going to edit it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. But, like, apparently Kristen said they had to get cut because of the noises.
But they cut all the audio out anyway because there's, like, a piano song.
Yeah. But I would love to see the uncut
I know,
version
we
of
talked
that.
about this.
Oh, my God.
I remember us saying, like, how much we would spend for that.
Oh, God. Didn't I say, like, $60? $200.
As long as it was long enough. I'd feel a little upset if I paid $200 and it's only like
5 seconds. Yeah. You know that they would do that too.
Just like the anniversary
showing. Yeah.
Exclusive content. Never before seen.
Yeah.
It's just text and Rob's phone.
I hate the Breaking Dawn behind the scenes is so disappointing. I watched some of this. And they would only have like 3-second clips at most, just like back to back.
Honestly, we're not babies. Show us the sex scenes.
Yeah.
Come on. Who even wants it to be PG-13?
I know.
Not saying it has to turn into 50 Shades of Grey all of a sudden, but, you know, you can give us a little more.
Yeah. Could have been rated R. We'd still go see it. So then they do an Entertainment Weekly interview, and I think Taylor's here. But they're talking about the sex scene. And Stewart says, cinematically cut all together, it's awesome. I really like it, but we didn't really do that scene. And Rob says, and when we did, they kept telling us to stop. Laughs. Stewart, I know. Bill kept going, stop thrusting. Ha ha ha. I mean, I didn't actually want to have sex with him on set, but
thrusting.
And then Rob says, why not? Ha ha ha. You can see my butt crack. Why does butt crack not make it R? You see my butt crack the whole time, Stewart. No, you don't. They darkened it or something. Lautner. They shortened it, or I think they erased the crack. Pattinson. It was really Kristen's fault it was going to be rated R. To Stewart. Your fancy moves? No one sees moves like that in a PG-13 movie. Ha 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 ha.
I have all the Twilight Entertainment Weeklies right over there in my room.
Oh, you do? Oh my
Every
God.
single one ever. I think that one... I think that's when Kristen had like a red dress on the cover, and I think her arms back like this.
Oh, yeah. I love that one. Oh, and like Taylor is such an awkward third wheel in that one. It's like Rob and Kristen, they're like embracing each other, and Taylor's just like on the side. Yeah. It wasn't so awkward. Imagine like doing a love triangle thing, and the couple is dating in real life. I mean, Vampire Diaries had that same thing. It must be so uncomfortable. So then it's at the Breaking Dawn premiere in Berlin. Another Berlin moment here. And
everything happens in Berlin.
Yeah, everything. Rob is asked about Kristen, and I have a clip here.
Ooh.
So what are you telling your girlfriend today from this evening? That it was great.
It was great, yeah, it was great. She loves Berlin, so like I'm sure she's disappointed she's not here.
I forgot about that.
That's really cute.
Yeah. He just acknowledged her as his girlfriend. Yeah, and then they get their hands and feet imprinted on the Chinese Grauman Theater sidewalk.
Which we went
to, yeah. It's a sidewalk. But I remember they were really cute in pictures and videos.
Yeah.
They're really handsy in those. Kristen is like at one point rubbing his thigh.
What?
I'll show
I
you.
did not know that.
Yeah.
No, let's keep showing me.
She has his hand there for a
Oh
while.
my. Why is she touching his thigh? That is crazy.
And then,
that is pretty PDA.
Yeah.
Literally, guys. She has her hand just resting on his thigh.
Mm-hmm. No, in the
standing
video
up.
of it, which I don't think I could find easily right now, but she's rubbing it up and down.
Poor Taylor.
Yeah. Poor Taylor. And then handprints.
She looks really
back.
pretty there.
He has his hand like almost on her ass. She looks really cute.
She has long, wavy black hair.
She honestly in interviews, she seems very different than the general perception of her. I think she's actually way more bubbly at times. Sometimes I feel like she's pretty
Look at
stoic.
her hair.
Yeah.
She looks so cute.
And she's really goofy. She's like putting her hands in their faces. I don't know. I love Kristen Stewart, but sometimes I go back and forth on what kind of person I think she is, which isn't fair because I don't know her.
Yeah.
But I think that's why she's so interesting, is because she's an enigma. I don't know.
She probably also isn't the same person anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a long time ago at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And people are different in different settings too. Sometimes I think, like, is she a nice person? And the only reason I think that is because she's such good friends with Emma Roberts, and I think
Emma Roberts isn't.
I get the vibe that Emma Roberts is not a nice person.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to burn bridges here, but I get the vibe that her whole crew isn't the best.
Yeah, me too.
They seem really fake to me.
Yeah. We'll talk about this another time. I think Taylor's a great guy.
Yeah, Taylor does seem nice.
Yeah. So Taylor's friends with her. So then during this time, Kristen is still filming Snow White and the Huntsman. She's seen leaving Rob's house in London several times. I think she was maybe living at Rob's house during that time, or I don't know. They're hanging out a lot.
It's so real.
So then it's December 2011, and they spend Christmas apart. But Kristen reportedly bought him a $12,000 guitar for Christmas, and she's photographed at the guitar shop with her dad.
Wow.
Posing with the shop people. And that is Rob's favorite guitar shop because there's like a million pictures of him at that same shop.
How do we know that she didn't just get it for herself?
Oh, she could have. I don't know.
Because I know she did say before that she plays guitar.
Yeah, so she could have. This is totally rumored. And then they spent New Year's once again together in London, and they went to a Mexican restaurant called Mestizo, where they were photographed together and took a picture with the staff.
I can't believe how out in the open they were.
I know.
In this part of their... But, I mean, actually, this isn't even... It gets even crazier.
It gets crazier, yeah. Stay tuned. So then it's January and February 2012. They're photographed out and about on dates in restaurants, yada yada. I don't have much to say about that. During this time, Kellen Lutz does an interview on a radio station.
Just wanted to know, are Rob and Kristen still going strong, and do you think they're going to get married?
You know what? I haven't talked to them in a little bit, and it's not really a question that I could answer because I don't know them, but they seem adorable every time I see them and madly in love. So
they do.
You know, who knows?
Who knows?
Hope the best for them, that's for sure.
Shall we call...
I don't know them?
Yeah. Has he known them for like 4 years?
Jeez. They must not really talk to him.
No, and I can picture that.
It's kind of sad.
I thought that in the beginning, I thought that Kellen Lutz and Robert Pattinson were friends.
That's sad.
I think that they were all better friends for the first one, but then weren't really as close later on. I think that Rob is still friends with Ashley Greene and Peter Fasinelli.
I'm pretty sure someone has been on the record saying that the first movie they were all good friends and then they weren't later.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Kellen Lutz again, but somebody definitely said that. Maybe it was Nikki Reed. I don't know.
Yeah. Kristen and Nikki Reed were such good friends.
Mhm.
And maybe this can be a whole new episode, but people think that when Kristen got with Rob, that hurt their friendship. For multiple reasons.
Maybe.
We don't know.
Je ne sais pas.
So then, March 2012, they both go to Paris together for Fashion Week. I think Kristen was doing some stuff with Balenciaga there.
Mhm.
So she goes to different photo shoots, and Rob tags along. And reading about this, I read that they were recently on the same flight back from Paris Fashion Week, I think last year, coincidentally.
No way.
And Stella Maxwell was there with Kristen. They were both literally on the same plane.
That's insane.
Yeah. Do you think that they realized it when they were on the plane? They had to.
That's crazy.
Like boarding the flight.
Did they,
Isn't that
pretend
crazy?
not to see each other?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I actually did not know that.
Mm-hmm. And they're photographed at an event together in Paris in 2012 at that point. But they didn't really go as a couple, but he just tagged along.
Mm-hmm.
May 2012, Kristen does some press for Snow White.
Snow White.
Around this time, Rob and
Best movie
Kristen...
ever.
Snow White?
Yeah.
I never need to see it again. During this time... Oh, sorry, I forgot to say, in April 2012, it is believed that Rob gave Kristen a very expensive necklace for her birthday. And she says that it was a birthday gift, but she doesn't say who it's from. And I think it's pretty obvious that it's from Rob because after she receives it, she wears it every single time she's photographed for the most part until their second breakup. So she made a point to wear it after their first breakup.
Wow.
Not to reveal some of your section.
Hey, that's my section.
But look out for that. So during May, Rob and Kristen go to Cannes at the same time for On the Road and Cosmopolis.
Mm-hmm.
And they both walk the red carpet at each other's screenings and attend the after parties. And at the screening for Cosmopolis, Kristen is photographed embracing Rob at the screening, and actually there's a picture of her. It seemingly
looks like he's whispering
in
his ear.
But then people noticed that he had a red stain on his cheek, so they think that Kristen kissed him on the cheek inside the showing. And they're also photographed holding hands leaving the screening. And then at the On the Road after party, paparazzi filmed them talking and laughing and hugging and kissing on the rooftop, and he kisses on her forehead, which reminded me of Edward.
It's now? I thought this was after they broke up the first time for some reason.
No.
This is the cutest thing. They're dancing and swaying back and forth. It's so cute.
Yeah.
I remember this.
This was a big deal in the fandom. I remember everyone freaked out. This is the most that we get.
Yeah.
Of
it's
them.
Crazy.
And they look really silly. I was reading
just watching them talking to. Oh my gosh, he's shaking his head back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah.
And being really silly.
I was reading online that night, between them and all their friends or whatever, they had 16 bottles of champagne all together.
Oh my
or
God.
something. They were really drunk that night.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I would have 16 bottles of champagne with my friends.
Yeah. I think they paid for everyone, but I'm not sure.
They definitely could afford it.
Yeah.
Oh my
I did forgot to
gosh.
say that
he's kissing her neck. Guys.
Seems like she kind of pushes him away.
Oh, but then she brings him
Brings
closer.
him back. Yeah.
Oh my god, they're
She's
rocking back and forth.
She's rubbing his hair.
Even my cat's getting excited.
Yeah. They're embracing. I forgot to say that during this time, Kristen is the highest paid actress in the world.
I know. Insane.
The entire planet Earth. They're a big deal at this point.
Mm-hmm. They really, really, really were. The top couple.
Yeah.
Everybody cared.
At this point, it looks like he sees the camera.
Oh, and he ducks below. Guys, there's a shot. He takes a sip from his beer, makes eye contact with the camera, and then ducks behind the wall. kind of funny.
Yeah. So that was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And they just seem so in love there and so proud of each other. Then it's June 2012, and Rob brought Kristen as his date to a wedding for Hollywood producer Kevin Turen. This was a big wedding. I have no idea why Rob knows this producer, but I guess Zac Efron was there. Someone else was there, like Gwyneth Paltrow. That's not true, but someone else was there. And they took lots of pictures with fans, and witnesses say they were kissing and dancing and laughing and holding hands the whole night. There's some pictures I'll show you.
Mel's helping me out.
I guess Kristen forgot her dress at home, so she borrowed the dress of the sister of the groom.
Hey, why would you wear jeans?
Yeah, so she borrows a dress for the ceremony where they're photographed. She's like fixing his tie.
Wow.
But then she changes back into jeans at the wedding.
I think I missed this back then.
Yeah, I didn't really remember. I think I saw maybe pictures of this, but this felt new to me. Yeah, he has his arm around her.
Wow.
During the ceremony. Imagine being at a wedding and they're there.
I can't imagine.
Oh, and then, in the place card, it says Mr. Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart.
Wow.
So
they're a couple.
Look how cute he is.
He's so handsome.
He's so handsome. Oh,
F
my
me.
gosh. Oh my god.
There he is posing with, I don't know, the flower girl or something.
Yeah.
So cute.
She's posing with the flower girl. She's got that necklace on.
Oh my god.
You can see her bra. Yeah, it's kind of weird she's wearing jeans, but I respect it.
I don't, but that's okay. I don't think you should wear jeans at a wedding.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, she is wearing a dress here.
Mm-hmm.
She looks great.
Yeah, she does.
Maybe, she felt weird keeping the other person's dress on the whole night.
Maybe.
I don't know. Kristen, I love you.
Then what?
Then we're in July 2012.
Oh. It's getting hot. It's getting queasy.
Yep. So, I mean, this is when their relationship is just building and building. They're more open. They seem very in love.
Yeah. This is the most it's ever been, probably. Yeah. At least to our eyes.
Yeah. So, first, July 12th, they go to Comic-Con. Mm-hmm. And Kristen seems pretty confident in their relationship. They both do. They're asked if they would ever want to work together again, and this is what they say.
Oh, dude, we will work together again. Yeah.
Breaking news down here at Comic-Con. Yeah.
No, I think we could be so. I mean, I'm not being coy or anything. It's just that sometimes I have a few actors that I've worked with before that I'm like, dude, we need to keep doing this together, and he's definitely one of them.
Any truth to the rumor that you're writing a script for Kristen to star in, maybe?
I'm trying to write stuff all the time, but and I have been.
Talk about working together again, possibly.
I'd love to. Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's only a few actors who can kind of get stuff financed, so it's and Kristen's one of the only girls who does it. So I mean, I would love to, and also there are so many parts where there's young female parts where Kristen's just perfect for it. It's damn it, you literally I mean, it's so easy to cast her and things.
Yeah, so they seem
He's writing stuff?
Pretty confident that they'll work together again, so obviously they think they're going to be together for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird how she's like, there's a few actors I've worked with, and he's one of them. It's like, that's your boyfriend. It's like they're just co-stars.
Yeah. Again, acting like they're just co-stars.
Yeah. But I watched a lot of this Comic-Con. There's not a lot that I found I could put in a single clip, but they seem like they've been dating for a while. There's at one point when she's getting tongue-tied and he teases her and she says shut the fuck up on stage during the panel. Another point when they're doing
tongue-tied, that's a perfect way to describe it.
Another point when they're doing an interview with E.T. Canada. I might share this to our Instagram. And the cameras are rolling behind the scenes when there's a technical issue or something, and you just see them talking, and he's like, oh, you're so good at interviewing, and he's like, I'm so annoyed, I want someone to push you out of your chair. He pretends to hit her, and then she's like, he doesn't mean that. It's just really cute. They're teasing each other, and they seem really comfortable, and all the while cute. Taylor Lautner's sitting there.
Oh my
poor Taylor.
All the while.
Okay, so then a couple weeks later, Kristen was seen hanging out with her director of Snow White and the Huntsman.
In the midst of all this
lovey-dovey
happiness between Rob and Kristen.
Yes.
So what do you mean seen with director? What do you mean by that?
You'll have to tune into our next episode to see what happens from there.
Oh my god.
Spoiler alert, it's not great.
It's not good. It's scandal of the century.
It was
probably
one of the biggest scandals of
ever.
Our time. Our president weighed in on it.
Well, he wasn't president yet.
Yeah.
But he was into it. Everybody was, honestly. And there's, from there on, there's even more to the story.
Yeah.
And you can talk about why people were interested in that too.
Let me know, guys, if I missed anything, because it's hard to capture everything. This was a pretty long relationship and a very secretive relationship. So there's not much out there that is, I don't know, you have to piece it together a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When do you think they started dating officially?
Oh, good question. I think probably during New Moon, filming of New Moon. Or I think like they became serious during the filming of Eclipse. What about you?
It's interesting because it sounds like the press for New Moon was awkward.
Mm-hmm.
I think like something happened before that though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say around then.
Yeah. When do you think they like said I love you?
I don't know.
We can only imagine.
Maybe during Eclipse or at least before they were seen like in England together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
When did you first believe that they were dating?
Where was it when you can't really tell if they're holding hands? They're outside at night.
When they're walking on the plane, to the plane?
Yeah.
During the New Moon press?
Yeah.
They're like going to France.
I guess that's when I first thought.
Yeah, that's when the same thing. Yeah. Before then, I thought it was totally rumors. And I thought, remember we were like, who should Rob date? And we're like, Amanda Bynes?
True, yeah. Yeah. I used to not really even like Kristen, too.
Yeah, me too.
Then.
I didn't really root for them to be together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that he could do way better. And I was mad that she kind of kept rejecting him.
Yeah, same.
And I believed his like proposal thing.
Me too.
Well, I guess I didn't think he actually proposed, but I thought he was at least proposing to date.
Yeah.
And so I was very insulted that she turned him down. So I was like, oh, Rob can do better than that.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was like in love with her.
Yeah.
And that I did read in my research that something he really liked about Kristen was like she was the one that he couldn't really get. Like she was always out of reach in the beginning. I don't know if that's true.
He admitted that.
And I also read that like
very self-aware.
Something that really bonded them is that they felt like no one else understood what they were going through, and that they were like the only two people who could share in their experience, because they both really found stardom so abruptly.
Yeah, true.
At such a young age, and I think that was probably like very overwhelming that overnight they became A-list celebrities.
Yeah, for sure. Wow. So that was Rob and Kristen falling in love, their whole journey. And next, Mel kind of took the reins for this one, but I'm going to guide us on the story of cheating. Yes, cheating is what happens next. Sorry, spoiler. But that's not the end. What happens on July 17th, 2012 is not the end of the story. There's actually more ups and downs after that, and I think it makes it very interesting. One of the most interesting celebrity romances of all time.
Yes. Yeah. I always said that I wish that someone wrote a movie about them, but now,
I know.
I don't know if that would be that interesting.
Now
actually.
It's like so in the shadows.
Yeah.
It could.
Yeah.
It could be treated as some kind of biopic.
Yeah.
/ biopic.
Oh shit, that would be amazing. Oh my god.
Just focused on those like 4 years or something.
Yeah.
Last night, Mel and I watched Personal Shopper for the first time.
Yes.
It's a Kristen Stewart movie. It was really good, but
it was
so scared.
Oh, it was so scary. We're both not like, we both don't really do well with scary movies.
Yeah.
And it was ways, I didn't know it was scary.
I know.
I thought it was like about shopping.
I know. It was a cool movie though. I liked
Yeah.
the concept. It was interesting how it had the fashion stuff on one side, but then and her kind of zipping around Paris, and then the more spooky stuff.
Yeah. And it was interesting how, like, they don't really set anything up. All the characters seemed pretty real.
Yeah, they didn't, like, tell us anything, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
It felt realistic that way.
Yeah, and, oh, it was scary.
I recommend it,
Yeah.
but...
I think Kristen did a great job.
I mean, I don't know, maybe other people aren't as scared as us, but I was gonna say don't watch it alone in the dark. Her character kept walking around in the dark.
Yeah.
Like, turn some lights on.
Yeah.
What the heck? It was cool, though.
It was good. And she was really good in it.
Yeah.
We wanted to watch either a Rob or Kristen movie
Mhm.
that we haven't seen yet. And so it was kind of tough to decide. But
Yeah.
we just went through the ones on Netflix and that one was there.
Mhm.
And Kristen, if you're listening, we love you.
Great job in personal shopper.
Yeah. We're going to have to watch more of your filmography.
We will.
Yeah, guys, let us know if you have any recommendations of which Rob and Kristen movies to watch. Which ones have you seen other for Rob and Kristen?
For Kristen, I saw The Runaways.
I've never seen them.
This is gonna be hard to remember. Adventureland.
Oh, of course, yeah.
We
saw
Snow White and the Huntsman.
Snow White,
yeah. I honestly, like, in the recent years, haven't seen much.
Yeah.
Still Alice. I
think I saw some of that, yeah.
That was a good movie. I'm sure I'm forgetting some for Kristen. As for Rob, I feel like I've seen less, honestly. I saw Water for Elephants.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw Good Time.
I haven't seen Good Time.
Yeah. I saw that in
I'm a fake fan.
It was pretty good. I've seen Remember Me, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, is it like the City of
Z?
The
Lost City of Z.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
I didn't see that. I'm really lacking.
Yeah.
I think I've seen more Kristen movies. Oh, and like her earlier movies, like In the Land of Women, I saw that.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I've seen Harry Potter and the...
Yeah. Meg Ryan's in The Land of Women.
Oh, is she? Oh, two of our favorites.
Mm-hmm. We gotta see that. I feel like recently they've had some good movies, I think, like, that I've read about, but I just haven't seen them.
And we really want to see The Lighthouse that Rob was in.
Me too.
And I tried to... I don't think there's even a trailer available, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. Not yet.
And I want to see High Life too.
Me too.
Kristen, what is like her big movie? Oh, it was like JT Leroy or something.
Yeah, JT Leroy.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I want to see all of them.
Yeah.
Can we do it? I don't know.
I don't know.
It might take a long time.
I'm not that interested in like The Rover.
Gotta see it.
Yeah.
I'm not that interested either, but The Rover will come up later in this episode.
Oh, it will?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so last time we left off, things seemed to be going good for Rob and Kristen, but then...
They were pretty in love. Remember, they were at Cannes.
They were in love.
They were all lovey-dovey.
Mm-hmm. But then news came out about a scandal. A cheating scandal.
You know, the other day I was thinking, like, wow, there's been no Twilight scandals. And then I remembered this.
Well, how could you forget? Before we get into it, I had a clip that I thought was just really cute from prior, so it would be during your episode.
Okay.
When they were still together. Well, there's actually before they're together. They ask Rob if he has a crush on Kristen Stewart, and this is like before they started dating.
You really got a big crush on her?
Well, I have no idea. I mean, like, she's a really good, she's a friend of mine. I mean, I don't really have...
What do you mean you got no idea? You must know...
Well, I mean, I have to I was in this, like, kind of weird world where I'm just sort of, like, you know, for, like, 5 months, convincing yourself, like, this girl is the only thing you need in your life. It's the only thing you need in your life. It's just like, so now it's kind of awkward now.
So you've become obsessed because you're acting like that all
Yeah, no,
the
it
time.
took me a long time to get out of it. I mean, it took like 2 months to kind of, you know, to stop introducing her as my fiance.
Oh, that's so cute.
Like, part of that seems like a joke, the end about fiance, whatever, but that seems it seemed real to me.
Yeah.
Like, a little humiliating to be like,
This
4 or
girl,
5
this girl,
months.
this girl.
That's all you want. That's all you want. I thought that was so cute. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I had seen that before, but I definitely forgot. So
what's so cute about those early years before they knew how big Twilight was gonna be, I feel like they were very outwardly flirty, and
yeah,
then like once
really
they were really
honest.
famous, they like didn't even like to acknowledge each other.
Yeah, because I didn't know how many people were even going to watch those interviews. I probably thought just 6 teenagers in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
We're going to watch it. So anyway, things were going good, but then on July 17th, 2012, Kristen Stewart was photographed canoodling with her Snow White and the Huntsman director, Rupert Sanders.
No.
Who was 19 years older than Kristen.
That's crazy.
I know. And so at the time, Kristen was 22 years old and her boyfriend, Robert, was 26. And Kristen was seen outside with Rupert. She's wearing a white tank top, baggy sweatpants, and she's holding Robert Pattinson's hat.
She is?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And she has her butt up against
No.
Rupert's crotch.
No.
Which is very suggestive. Like, I feel like you don't, they're doing kind of a grinding position. I feel like you don't do that with someone that you're just flirting with for the first time. Then they got into a car and Rupert and Kristen were making out, and there's pictures of that. Mm-hmm. And weirdly, it almost looked like Kristen saw the paparazzi because there's like this shot of her looking out the window, but she's kind of smiling. Maybe she didn't see it and just kind of was looking around. But...
Well, they're like out in a public place, right? Or maybe it looks a little bit secluded, but isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like daytime.
It's daytime. They're outside, in some like park, I think.
Yeah.
So that happened, but the pictures weren't released right away. I don't know why. Do you know why?
I think I read that it's because the magazine that was going to publish them was writing an expose about it.
So it was going to be in print.
Yeah, I think it was going to be in print. So they were probably waiting so that they could like sell it that day.
And apparently that day, I don't know how people know this, but Kristen was said to be going for a routine trip to the gym, but ended up on a detour with Rupert Sanders. I don't know how people know that, but
I was saying this yesterday to Kelly because sometimes it's hard. We talk about Twilight, when we're just casually hanging out, and I don't understand to this day what this thing was with Rupert Sanders.
I don't know.
What, he was a father of 2. He was married.
Yes.
And he was old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get, not that old, but like...
Do you think she just had a crush on him while they were filming and then...
I don't know. I was thinking, well, it's kind of weird. Like, there's a power dynamic. Like, he is the director of the movie, and I know that they were considering sequels at the time. So, it's kind of... I don't know. It's just weird. But at the same time, Kristen was the biggest celebrity in Hollywood, and she probably yielded way more power than Rupert Sanders did.
This article said that they were on a hiking trail with views of the Hollywood sign. So that's a really open place.
Yeah.
This happened, but what's interesting is earlier that month, his wife, Liberty Ross, who's an actress and model apparently, had spoken in an interview about the problems and stresses in her 7-year marriage to Rupert Sanders. And she said that moving from London to Los Angeles was surprisingly isolating and daunting, and said that it was hard to raise 2 kids with her husband away, often directing and stuff. But then she concluded saying, everything feels so amazing now. We rode through the really hard times and we stuck it out. So it's kind of sad because she said that earlier that month.
Yeah.
And then this happened. But as I said, people didn't know yet. So on July 19th, which is 2 days after this, Rob and Kristen went to Hotel Cafe, apparently their regular hangout, which we didn't know what.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they wouldn't be there anymore, but I was like, dang it, we should have gone there when we went to LA. To catch some live music together. They left as a couple and looked very much together. Then
I remember they were holding hands.
Yeah, and this, I think it was a British tabloid, said, this would probably be the night that Rob thinks back to during any potential showdown talks. Sad though, it's true.
Yeah.
Because the pictures were from the 17th, so he must have been like, what? We hung out on the 19th. Maybe even more than that.
It's weird of Kristen that, I don't know, I have such a guilty conscience all the time that I don't think I could cheat on someone and then hang out with them as if nothing happened.
Yeah, and that's basically what happened. And then on the 22nd, they went to the Teen Choice Awards where Breaking Dawn Part 1 won a surfboard, and they were acting really normal and stuff.
I remember they were color coordinated to this award show.
Yeah, everything was seemingly fine, but then on July 24th, the world was shocked by the revelation that Kristen had a fling with married director of her film Snow White and the Huntsman. And if you remember, a source said, again, like, who is this source? I don't know.
Yeah.
They said it to people. Kristen is absolutely devastated. It was a mistake and a complete lapse in judgment. I remember when the pictures came out.
Me too.
I didn't believe it.
Me too.
And I remember us thinking that it was Photoshopped or something. People were like looking for clues.
Yeah.
Saying, oh, see, like this part is weird. Like,
yeah.
it doesn't look real.
Yeah.
But it was.
Yeah. I remember where I was.
Where were you?
In my room. On my bed. I think I had a driving lesson that afternoon.
Oh, you had a driving lesson?
Yeah.
You had to drive after hearing this?
I think so.
It was horrible. I remember being in my backyard, actually, in, like, barefoot, and I think, like, talking to you on the phone.
Yeah.
And just
on the
freaking
landline.
out. Yeah. The next day, Kristen and Rupert both issued apologies, and this is Kristen's classic never could forget statement. And we should dissect this, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
She said, I'm deeply sorry for the hurt and embarrassment I've caused to those close to me and everyone this has affected. This momentary indiscretion has jeopardized the most important thing in my life, the person I love and respect the most, Rob. I love him, I'm so sorry. And Rupert Sanders also had an apology, and his wife tweeted, wow, and then deleted her account. So let's talk.
Wait, didn't she also Instagram a picture of like the cartoon Snow White, and then she, like,
I don't know, I didn't know this.
It was like a GIF or something of the cartoon Snow White, and it was like not so pretty and pure.
Oh my god.
But yeah, let's dissect Kristen's statement.
So I think it's interesting that the statement is not really for Rob in a way.
Yeah.
She's like, I love him. Like, you'd think she'd be saying, like, I love you.
Yeah.
And this was just crazy at the time because still they had never acknowledged that they were together.
Mm-hmm.
They'd never confirmed it. And then now we have
her
saying this.
Professing her love for him. Yeah.
And it's crazy.
And it sounds so, like, the beginning of it sounds kind of like a PR person might have helped her.
Yeah.
But then it just gets, like, very...
Yeah, I love him, I
messy.
love him. That's not even how you form a sentence.
Yeah,
so, like,
yeah.
I'm so sorry. I know, the beginning does sound like somebody else wrote it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
And then, but the I love him, it's just very, like, desperate.
Yeah. The most important thing in my life, the person I love and respect the most, Rob. Ugh. And I always wonder, I think this was for the fans because she could have just told Rob this. And I'm sure she did.
Yeah.
If you can just call him or text him. I always wondered what he would think of this statement being out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I always thought that it probably was like, he probably didn't like that she released this statement.
Yeah, he must be embarrassed.
Yeah. Or I thought, like, what if, like, he didn't want to talk to her? And so this statement was, like, her way of communicating.
Right. Maybe he blocked her number.
Yeah, and so that was her way of communicating that to him.
That's possible. I thought about that, too. Ugh.
It's weird that she said the person I love and respect the most, or the most important thing in her life, because it's like, I don't know, she has this big career, and then, like, her relationship with Robert Pattinson, which she doesn't, like, acknowledge.
Yeah.
In her everyday life is the most important. I mean, obviously you don't really respect him that much if you're cheating on him.
The next day, July 26th, people reported that Rob had moved out of their love nest, as this magazine called it, but their house that he shared with Kristen, which I think was actually Kristen's house.
Yeah.
While she was spotted leaving the gym, just 8 days after the same trip that led to the entire scandal. I don't know why they include that. Yeah. And they said, despite the poutiest star ever on the red carpet, she picked this day of all days to crack a smile. And there was, like, a picture of her smiling.
Yeah.
Which, whatever. I mean, even if you are going through a breakup, you can still smile the same
Yeah,
way.
exactly.
So I guess Rob moved out, which I think is crazy that they were living together in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, we were just talking about this yesterday, how people live together
all the time.
Yeah. And I mean, I believe that they were in love, but I think she was still pretty young, and it's just, like, so mature that they were living together.
Yeah.
And this whole time, we didn't even know if they were together. And apparently they're living together.
I think they did have separate houses, though, right?
They did, yeah. But I think, like it seemed like he was kind of living there though, because he like moved stuff out.
Yeah, and they had dogs together.
Yeah. So on August 1st, it was reported that he was living in Reese Witherspoon's house.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
remember that?
I remember that. I remember not knowing if that was true. How would people know that?
There were a lot of posts about it. It seemed true because people seemed to know where the house was.
Yeah.
And she had even had the house like in magazines or something. And I should have done more research into this, but I almost think that she said that he stayed with her. So
Oh, okay.
I don't know, because they were apparently really close from filming Water for Elephants.
So she let him stay there to hide out?
Yeah, hide out. And so I thought it'd be funny if I read some of my posts from my personal Tumblr about the time. Because I was freaking out. And I was so into Tumblr, and I used to post all the time. So on July 22nd, I wrote, "Even the news is talking about Kristen cheating. I'm so upset about this. Why would she cheat on the most beautiful man on the planet?" Then I posted, "Everything Twilight / Robsten related is just making me depressed. Even being in my fucking room," wow, language, "upsets me because I've put up all these pictures through the years. I don't want to take anything down, and I don't want to stay away from the internet, but it all makes me sad." It sounds like I'm going through a breakup.
I know. I remember it felt like a breakup for me. It really did.
Also, I wrote last post about this. That's not true. I'm going to read another one. In the tags, I wrote, "Kristen's a hoe." Which I would not say that these days. That was really mean of me. And then I think I reblogged this from someone. "This whole scandal has made me truly realize how invested we all are in Rob and Kristen. Of course, I'm still hoping that everything works out in the end, but I will never allow myself to become so deeply invested and obsessed with the celebrity couple again." And actually, I stuck to that.
I think I did too, yeah.
I haven't been into any real life couples that much since then.
Yeah.
Even like my friends, I try not to get too attached.
Try not to ship your friends.
Because like sometimes
yeah.
in the past I would really like two people together and you have no control over it.
Exactly.
Like everyone is dealing with their own stuff, and if people break up, you can't like take it personally and get sad.
And I just think you don't know what's going on in anybody's relationship.
Especially celebrities.
Yeah, and so, not to skip ahead, but like once Rob and Kristen did get back together, I remember just feeling like I rooted for them and I wanted them together, but like, you don't know them at all.
Yeah.
And it could be a very toxic situation, and it's kind of weird to just like really want two people together when
you have no idea.
Yeah.
Like what's going on.
If you were close with them, you could be on the outside and being like, "Oh, you had to break up. This is unhealthy."
Yeah.
You know?
But we don't know.
Yeah.
And I also thought I remember at the time Marina and the Diamonds, like this British singer, had a song called Homewrecker. And I think it had recently come out. And I remember on the YouTube video for it, all the comments were about Kristen Stewart. Which I thought was
That's so weird.
Random, because it's like kind of this indie singer. And I don't even know if the people that listen to that even care about Robsten, but I swear to God, every single comment was like, "Kristen Stewart, Homewrecker,
so weird.
Kristen Stewart." Which, it makes me feel bad looking back. Like, really, people did treat her... It was... Obviously, cheating is a bad thing. But it happens, and she's just human, and I look back and I feel really bad that I said, like, Kristen's a hoe, and, like, everyone...
Yeah.
I mean, she's not the first person to cheat in Hollywood, so why was that song, like, Kristen Stewart?
And, yeah, no, and she was only 22 years old.
22, I know!
I'm just turning 23 now, and... These years of your lives are so messy.
Yeah.
And people make mistakes all the time in relationships at this point. They can be very immature.
And she probably didn't know what she wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, this is me totally speculating, but I almost feel like Rob was pretty serious.
Yeah, I mean, he was 4 years older than her.
He was older. Maybe she was like a little overwhelmed about all of it and kind of wanted a little escape, or maybe she was like, "I love Rob, but is this like the rest of my life?"
Yeah.
And then she thought this Rupert guy was like sexy or something, and I don't know.
I mean, you gotta think about how humiliating that was for her, and I think it really affected her.
It definitely did. Tabloids I don't really believe a lot of things. I'm just gonna say it though. Tabloids claimed that Robert Pattinson's friends said he was weeks away from proposing, but I doubt that.
Yeah. How would they know that?
I know. I'll just let you guys know that that's what people are saying.
And what real friends would tell tabloids
that? Yeah, it's definitely not true. So Rob was kind of hiding out for a bit. I don't think we really saw many pictures of him, but then he was on The Daily Show, actually.
Oh, yes, I remember.
And John brought out Ben and Jerry's for their breakup, and I'm just going to play the clip.
Okay.
The last time I had a bad breakup, Ben and Jerry got me through some of the tougher times. So I thought you and I could bond over this.
Should do a thing.
And talk about, boy, you are better off. Kick her to the curb. You all right? Is everything okay? I'm worried about you, and you're all right.
I literally don't even know how to approach this now. Like
the ice cream?
Yeah.
Because it's a mess.
This is the weird thing about these interviews. Like, you kind of, like, well, I'm going to sound like an idiot.
Not at all.
But, like, my biggest problem in my life is I'm cheap. You know, normally actors get these things scripted.
Right. They know you're going to come on with an anecdote. I'm going to ask you, so, I hear your summer in France has been lovely. And then you tell me what to say.
I'm just like, I don't know. I was like, I should have. I'm gonna hire a publicist.
So that was Rob's first like appearance since this whole thing happened, and I think at this point Kristen still hadn't been interviewed.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it's only been a month, so it's pretty soon.
I remember how big of a deal that was.
Yeah,
that Rob was gonna be like on TV.
I was so nervous, and he really didn't say anything. He kind of deflected the whole thing.
Yeah,
but he obviously
respectful.
Was going along with it. Like
yeah.
He was talking about breakup and stuff, and he wasn't like. There wasn't a breakup, or
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he handled it well, but it was definitely a little awkward. Mm-hmm. Like you could tell he didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah,
and instead talked about meeting a publicist.
Really sexy.
Yeah, he looked awesome. You guys should look that up. Yeah, he looked great, and he was promoting Cosmopolis, that movie, which I haven't seen.
I haven't seen either.
On September 7th, 2012. Kristen was at a premiere for her film On the Road, which I actually haven't seen either, but I want to see it too. And she was asked, she kind of did like a short interview with some press person, and at the very end of it, he said, so how you doing these days? And she said, doing good. And I'm just going to play it.
It's great to see you back. How are you doing these days?
Doing good. Thank you so much.
She answers, doing good, but she doesn't smile or anything, and she just walks away.
Yeah, she looks really pissed off.
Yeah.
Or sad.
It's a little awkward, but I mean, you could tell that he was referring to that.
Yeah.
The interviewer. It's kind of sad.
Yeah. And I remember those pictures came out. She's wearing that necklace, which everyone thought that Rob gave to her.
Oh, yeah.
And like she always, during all this time when they had supposedly broken up, she always wore that necklace.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think that's about?
Oh, it's like, I don't know if we're reading too much into it, but was she trying to like send out a sign or something to Rob? Like,
it's like,
I still love
I don't know if the signs are to Rob or to the Twilight fans, because I don't know, like, do you think that she was more devastated about losing Rob or thinking that her career would suffer if her and Rob weren't together?
I guess I always thought she was more upset about Rob, but maybe it was about her image.
Yeah, I don't know.
These things we cannot know, but we can guess. Oh my god. Okay, so they were planning a sequel to Snow White and the Huntsman, but Kristen was apparently... It was reported that she was dropped from the movie, which is insane because she was Snow White.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you going to do Snow White and the Huntsman without her? Which they actually did do it.
And it flopped.
It was just like Huntsman.
Yeah.
I forget what it was called. And Rupert didn't direct it either.
Yeah.
I feel like at the time it seemed like he was going to, but then he didn't. And I just think it's horrible that they would drop her from that. However...
Yeah, why would they drop her and not him?
I don't know. But I guess they did drop him anyway because he didn't direct the sequel. However, years later, Kristen actually, this is jumping forward, she said that she wasn't dropped from it. She was just not interested. She told Variety, I read a few scripts. None of them were good. None of them were green-lightable. I had a meeting with Universal about the places where the story could go. Maybe Chris was more into it. Chris Hemsworth. Mm-hmm. I actually don't fucking know. It wasn't a situation where I got kicked off a movie because I got in trouble, she said. We had been in talks for months after that about making something work, and it never came together. And then I guess she found out about the sequel in a press release. I was like, okay, cool. she says with a laugh. We hadn't spoken in a long time, but I didn't know we had broken up, she says of Universal. So, seems like she wasn't really interested, but then they were kind of just like, oh, let's just do it without her. Like, I don't know.
And I bet, like, after the whole scandal, she just wanted to leave Snow White behind her.
There's no need for that even to be a franchise.
No.
Stupid.
It was, like, a good enough movie on its own, but no one's like, I need a sequel. What happens to Snow White?
I feel like that's not Disney, that was based on like the Grimm's fairy tale, I think.
Yeah.
But I think that was the first movie I saw that was kind of like a real life version of the, fairy tales.
I remember they had another Snow White at the same time with Lily Collins.
Really?
Yeah.
How did I not even know that?
That was more like Disney.
Oh yeah, actually I remember now.
Yeah.
Snow White was very in for some reason.
Snow White's like the worst of the princesses.
She doesn't do much. Yeah. September 15th, the two, Rob and Kristen, reportedly met up in LA.
September 14th?
Oh, sorry, September 15th.
Okay.
And a friend said they think they'll be a couple again. Now, this is kind of a fake. I mean, who knows if this really happened? Because this is one of those things where someone just reported it, but people were kind of acting like it was true. Like, a lot of articles were referring to it, like, and they met earlier this month. But there's no pictures, so I don't know. On September 17th, they were reported back together by HuffPost.
Oh, wow.
The Sun reported that Pattinson had a heart-to-heart with his girlfriend of 4 years and forgiven her stupid mistake. Again, like, sketchy sources. Who knows who they are?
Do you think that at this point, because Breaking Down Part 2 is coming out, that the sources are actually Rob and Kristen's teams?
Maybe. So this is the crazy thing, is because Breaking Down Part 2 is going to come out in November. Mm-hmm. And it's September right now. So, did they kind of feel like they had to get back together, or at least work it out?
Yeah.
Because they were going to have to do press stuff. What's interesting, though, is in the beginning, people were doing press things separately.
Yeah.
They were having, like, the stars just go one-on-one or something to cities, which I don't know if they did that on purpose, because they were like, oh, there's this whole drama. I don't know. I feel like there's a TMI. Maybe I should just cut this out.
What?
I think this is invasion of privacy, but many sources say that Kristen and Rupert told their partners they didn't actually have sex. Just engaged in makeout sessions. I don't believe that. I mean, how do we know? I'm not saying I don't believe that that's true, but why would we know that?
Yeah, and like, why should we know that?
Yeah. Not necessary. Okay. And then also said that Kristen gave Rob the passwords to her voicemail and email account. But who knows if that's true? I doubt that's true.
Yeah.
Why would we know that?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
And who are they telling that to? Who then goes off and tells that to reporters?
I know. So a lot of this is just speculation. It's kind of insane. I wonder if they heard this, are they like, why are people saying that I gave him my computer? Like, who came up with that?
Yeah.
Very weird. However, all the speculation and everything was pretty much confirmed on October 15th. Rob and Kristen were seen being cuddly on the street at Ye Rustic Inn in LA. And then on the 17th, they were seen having dinner at Chateau Marmont. And then this is when Donald Trump tweeted about Robert Pattinson, because rumors were already flying that they were back together, and now they had been seen twice. And he tweeted, Robert Pattinson did not have taken back Kristen Stewart. She cheated on him like a dog and will do it again. Just watch. And then he said, he can do much better. Thanks, Donald. Then on 18th, there were pictures of them together, apparently by Kristen's pool in Los Feliz.
How are these pictures taken?
I don't know, paparazzi.
Are they in the backyard?
I guess so.
Do you think that these pictures were, again, taken by, like, someone on their team and, like, just so that people would know that they were together?
Maybe. I know, it's, like, really sketchy. I don't get it, because I think her pool's in the back of the house.
Yeah.
Unless somebody is
like,
trespassed.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was, like, on a hill or something.
This seems like a total invasion of privacy.
Yeah. Also, and the articles say that they were kissing, but they're not actually kissing in the picture. I couldn't find it.
Oh, I've seen pictures where they're kissing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't find it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So they're kind of embracing, I guess they're kissing at her house. Yeah, so the press, I wrote this, like, press tour is coming. Did that have any influence on them getting back together? I feel like it could have.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't people like telling them to or whatever, it might be that kind of thing where, oh, you know, you're dating someone, you're in college, and then you go your separate ways over the summer, and then you're like going back to school, and you're like, oh, like pick up where we left off.
Yeah. Or I imagine it's probably like awkward and daunting to have to do press with your ex. Probably was just easier for them to be back together so that they wouldn't have that tension and sadness.
They definitely needed to at least work it out, and he needed to forgive her, and so maybe in that whole process they were like, I still love you.
Yeah.
So on November 2nd, Rob and Kristen gave their first joint TV interview since the scandal with MTV First. And Taylor was there too, being a third wheel.
Imagine how awkward
I know.
that is.
And this was pretty crazy because it was their first time being together in an interview. But honestly, I'm not even going to put a clip in here because it wasn't very interesting. They honestly just acted like nothing happened.
Yeah.
They didn't say anything cool. So.
Yeah.
I guess earlier in the week, Kristen was asked about her personal life at a press tour. I think she was like by herself. She said,
well, Kristen, you have so many fans, and they will be mad at us if we don't ask you, and they follow your life, and they want to know, are you back together with Robert Pattinson?
Funny you mention that. I'm just going to let people watch whatever little movie they would like to think our lives are and go for it, you know.
2 days later, in the LA Times, Stewart said basically the same thing. People are just going to write the movie version of your life and consume it the way they please. I get the inclination to be entertained by that as well, so go for it. Have at it. Take it.
Oh my God.
And then she said, but you knew nothing about my relationship before. You know less now. How could you? Whoa.
Wow. I mean, you know what I do think about is, what if like Rob had cheated on her before?
It's possible.
And you just don't know it. And so she looks like this horrible person. What if they were on a break at that time?
It's possible.
What if they were polygamous?
Yeah.
You know, you don't know.
We don't know. I mean, I don't think they were because she apologized for cheating. And
Yeah.
he moved out. But yeah, he could have cheated on her, or, I mean, I hope not. But something like this happened actually with, I'm not going to name names, but this happened in high school where there was this couple. Everybody loved them. They were like the cutest couple. The guy actually cheated on the girl, but like nobody really knew except for a small handful of people. But then she like accidentally cheated on him. That became huge news because he like told everyone and everyone freaked out, and then she felt horrible and they broke up.
Oh my God.
But they didn't break up when he cheated because she didn't even know. Nobody knew.
Yeah.
So
what a shitty thing for him to do.
I know, it was so shitty.
Oh my God. Knowing that he had cheated on her.
Yeah. And it was crazy because everybody thought he was so nice. Okay, so then, sorry this is going so slow. This has all been in a few months. I think it's interesting to say, like, now it seems like they're back together. They are back together.
Yeah.
But they were only broken up for 2 months.
Yeah, it's not long.
Not long at all. November 13th was the Breaking Dawn Part 2 premiere. Apparently, Rob and Kristen arrived at the same time, late.
Oh. Wait, together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catherine Hardwicke was there, too.
No way!
Yeah. And so was Stevie Nicks.
What?
Saoirse Ronan. And Ariana Grande hosted it.
Oh, I remember that. Oh my gosh, I remember that. And Ariana did this like little thing where she interviewed them and she asked Kristen all these questions about like breakups.
No way.
What's your favorite breakup song? And it was super awkward.
I started watching some of that. She asked Kristen about like a Taylor Swift song or something.
Yeah.
So weird. I guess Ariana Grande wasn't really that famous yet.
Yeah, that's so
like,
funny.
Hi guys, I'm Ariana Grande. Here at the Breaking Dawn Part 2 premiere. And I guess the lights for the 7 p.m. showing weren't even dimmed until 8:22, so they had a late start. I don't know if it's because of Rob and Kristen showing up late.
Wait, how late did they show up?
I don't know what time they showed up, but the movie was supposed to start at 7 and it didn't start until like 8:30.
Really? Yeah. No way.
But the party after, this has really nothing to do with Robsten, but I thought it was really cool. They had wolves outside the party.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And inside was like a winter wonderland with fake snow, an ice bar, and they had a forest of trees. And I thought this was so funny. The article said that this was like a legit magazine too. It wasn't just a dumb tabloid. That Taylor Lautner, he wasn't 21 yet, sipped on an energy drink.
Oh my god. Oh, he wasn't even 21.
So lame.
He was so young.
Can you imagine being at a huge party like that and you just have to drink an energy?
Yeah, and you're the star. Yeah. Oh my god, they couldn't give him alcohol. Jesus Christ.
And it seemed kind of sad because I think the stars were kind of secluded to one area.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want people to go crazy around them.
Damn, I wish I was there so bad.
I know, me too. That would have been so... Imagine if you were at that party.
Oh,
it looked sick. They had like the costumes. It was probably the best party ever.
Yeah.
We would have died. Then there was the London premiere, and Kristen said, this is just about Twilight ending, really not about Robsten, but I thought it was cute. She said, I don't really look at it like we're walking away or having to say goodbye or anything like forever. Anytime you happen to meet somebody who was also into Twilight, you will always have that in common with those people that you meet, and that's really rare to have on such an enormous scale, so that's pretty cool. I was just like, oh, it's like our podcast.
What I really like about Kristen Stewart is that she's always shown a lot of pride for being in the series.
Yeah.
Like, she has never been afraid to say that she loves it.
And I think we're going to have an episode just about her, right?
Yeah.
And as I said, Stevie Nicks was there, and apparently she was friends with Rob and Kristen. I had no idea about this. And even, I guess, wrote a song inspired by Twilight.
What song?
I have to look into it. I don't know.
Oh my god.
I know. And she, like, defended Kristen in a magazine. She said, I was her age once, and exactly what happened to her happened to me 2 or 3 times.
Oh my god.
And whoever it was that I was with forgave me all those 2 or 3 times. The fact is, when you're young and you've been in a relationship for a long time and something comes along that is a little bit overwhelming and magical, you're kind of in another situation with someone else, things happen.
Yeah.
So then it was Christmas and New Year's, and apparently they spent Christmas apart but New Year's together. So creepy that we know that.
Yeah.
And then, again, I think this might be just speculation and people making things up, but a lot of things reported that his sisters didn't like Kristen Stewart and that they didn't forgive her.
Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah, I could see that. On January 16th, 2013, there were rumors again that they had broken up because Rob went to the Golden Globes alone, but I don't think that was true.
Yeah, why they've never gone together. Why would they start now?
Then on January 25th, Rob was in Australia filming The Rover. So they were separated. She was still in America, and he was going to be in Australia for a while. And there's a Cosmopolitan article that said that they were planning on moving to London together, but I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
I usually think Cosmo is like sort of reputable, but I don't know. I don't think that was true. On February 9th, so Rob's still in Australia, Kristen went to Taylor's 21st birthday, finally, at Lucky Strike Bowling. And apparently Patrick Schwarzenegger was flirting with Kristen.
What?
And then people said that Kristen wore Rob's underwear. Very weird story. It was on Hollywood Life. Like, I don't know if it's true, but
probably not.
A few places were talking about Patrick Schwarzenegger and her talking at this party, but
interesting.
That's, if you guys remember, he dated Miley Cyrus like a little bit later, I think.
Wait, it's like sad for Kristen that like she has this cheating scandal, and then probably any situation where she's just talking to a guy, people want to say that like, oh, is she cheating again, just to make her life miserable.
That must have been nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
And it must have been hard for Rob too, to like be in Australia, and then there's an article that's like Kristen Stewart flirting with
I'd imagine
Schwarzenegger.
it would be like really hard to trust again.
They're still apart. They weren't nominated Best Kiss for MTV Movie Awards, which, does the scandal have something to do with that? I kind of think so.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't? Because they were nominated 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
And then won all those 4 years, and then this time weren't even nominated. And I guess a bunch of fans were pissed. And
I feel like I was pissed.
Said that they were going to watch the Twilight movies instead of watching the MTV Movie Awards. And then Kristen was seen out and about wearing Rob's t-shirt. It said Irie on it, and so people were like, oh, they're still together.
Yeah.
And there's absolutely no news about Rob in Adelaide, Australia. It seems like he was not doing much besides filming.
Yeah.
Then
just filming a movie.
Yeah. Then they were spotted at a karaoke bar, like I think when he comes back.
Wow.
And at a birthday party for Katy Perry's assistant.
Was that Alicia Cargile?
Was it?
I think it was.
Oh my god. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
And I think you might remember this. There was like a wicked short Vine or something. It was so short.
Oh, yes, I remember it.
And then you see Rob and Kristen for like 1 second
I
at the
remember
table.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of March, they were seen together in LA, like at a corner store wearing hoodies. Then April, a lot happened in April. They were seen arm in arm. Oh my god. And I just want to say that it seems like now, in this era of their relationship, they're being way more affectionate in public.
Yeah.
Way more PDA. Like, before, it was very hard to get pictures like this. And then suddenly, there were a lot of them, like, walking together and stuff. And what do you think
Holding
about that?
I don't know. I wonder if it's like at this point, maybe the series is over, so they don't really care anymore. And
maybe.
I wonder also because I always felt, I think we talked about this in our last episode, how Rob wanted to be more affectionate in public. So I wonder if like after this, he sort of had the upper hand and he's sort of like set the standard.
Yeah, maybe.
And Kristen probably was just happy to be together, so she probably wanted to just like hold his hand.
This kind of leads into it because they were at Coachella together. They went all 3 days, and there's a picture, I don't have it here, but there's a picture of Rob holding Kristen's butt.
Yeah, I've seen that.
At Coachella.
Yeah, I've seen that.
and then they were holding hands and walking around.
And right in front of paparazzi.
Yeah.
So, like, they know they're getting photographed.
Yeah.
Well, probably also, Kristen openly admitted that they were in a relationship with her statement.
Yeah.
So, at this point, what are you hiding?
I know. There's no reason to
People
hide.
know you're together.
And apparently they were staying at the Viceroy Hotel. I don't know why we know that. And that, I guess, this article said that Band of Horses is her favorite band. I like that band, so that's cool.
Yeah.
And that they played at Coachella, so wow. And earlier that week, they went to a Rihanna concert and a party for Kristen's birthday. So they were seen doing a lot that week. They were seen in a parking lot somewhere. I guess the same week for Kristen's birthday. There were articles that said that he gave Kristen a pearl ring for her birthday that was his grandmother's.
Wow.
But again, I don't know how people know this.
Yeah.
It was weirdly specific, the stories. It was like, it was just wrapped in tissue paper in an envelope, no note or anything. But then also said that he gave her really expensive stuff, jewelry from designers and stuff. I don't know. Who knows if that's true? Did we ever even see her wearing a pearl ring?
I don't know. Don't they break up soon after?
Spoiler! Okay, so April, a lot happened in April. They were doing a lot and they seemed to be having a lot of fun. But just as things seemed to be going so good, they broke up again. They were seen together in New York after the Met Gala, and they flew to LA on May 8th. But apparently they broke up on Saturday, May 18th. Again, I don't know how people know the exact day.
Yeah.
Maybe it just spreads like wildfire. Like, she tells somebody, like, we broke up, and then they tell someone, and they tell someone. Like, I don't know. Apparently, it was, like, Rob's birthday. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do remember.
Kristen was, like, I don't really know how people know this, but Kristen was planning a party for Rob, who was turning 27, but he, like, ditched it.
Wow, that's pretty shitty.
I think it was going to be at her house or something, and there weren't pictures of, like, her outside. For some reason, I couldn't find them this time.
Yeah, I feel like there were pictures of her just, like, on a phone or something.
Yeah, and people say that that's her, like, waiting for Rob to show up. But I guess, I don't know how people know this, but there were all these articles about him just deciding, like, no, I don't want to go, or it almost made it sound like Kristen was like, I'm doing this party for you, and he was like, no.
Yeah.
And then he just didn't go. And
they must have been in, like, a fight already.
Yeah, that's what I think.
There must have been, like, turmoil in their relationship.
So I don't know if this is true, but other sources were saying that Rob saw texts from Rupert on her phone. Let's just say, like, maybe it was that, or maybe they got in a fight. It seemed like the timeline was they got in a fight, and she tried to make it better by throwing this party, and then he didn't show up.
Yeah.
And then on his actual birthday, she was seen not with him, just alone. And I don't even know if he was seen on his birthday. And then on May 19th, so that's 1 day later, Rob was spotted moving belongings out of Kristen's Los Feliz home. He was in a red truck and had all this stuff in the back. Remember?
I remember. It was very obvious. Yeah.
And Bernie and Bear were in the car with him too. Their dogs.
That's why I think he got the dogs.
I know, but Okay, I think that they were switching off. I almost think they were co-parenting.
No
'Cause
way,
I think,
really?
like, later, I read this article, I think it was from, like, 2016, that they were at her house. So...
That's crazy.
Yeah. I think that they were, like, taking turns with them.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Do you think they still are?
I don't know. Who has the dogs? We don't know. It seemed like he was taking them when he moved out. But
Yeah.
I swear to God, there's, like, a later article where they are, like, at her house and the dogs are there. So it's really confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess they broke up, and a source said she has absolutely no desire to date anyone, and the thought of Rob possibly seeing other people has her sick to her stomach. She's depressed, and rightly so. Again, who said that?
So Rob broke up with her?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think Rob broke up with her. I bet he, I don't know, it's kind of gross of us to judge and guess and whatever, because we don't know them, but I think this is really interesting to people because we can relate to it, and you can see your friends and family in stories like this, and when we talk about it, we're like trying to figure it out, and I don't know, maybe he was having trouble trusting her.
Yeah. I listened to this TED Talk by the woman who runs Lainey Gossip, and she was talking...
That's interesting.
She talked about this scandal, actually, and how it reflects... It's not really about Rob and Kristen. It's about viewing yourself in other people's stories. And so when people learn about the cheating scandal, it's not like, oh, Kristen's horrible. It's, what would I do in that situation?
Yeah.
Or how do you feel when a woman cheats on the hottest guy alive?
Yeah.
And a lot of that TED Talk was about sort of like sexism surrounding that, where guys are cheating on their partners all the time.
Yeah.
And people freak out, but it's not a huge deal. They don't have to release statements. Like, you think of Tristan Thompson, how he cheated on Khloe Kardashian when she was pregnant. It's not like he came out with a statement apologizing for it.
Exactly.
And that outrage that people had for her, Donald Trump getting so mad on Twitter about it. Meanwhile, he's cheated on all 3 of his wives, and it's like...
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's...
so hypocritical.
Yeah, there's a different standard that women are held to. And so, like, this whole scandal is just, like, a reflection of the cultures and values that we have as a society. And there's sort of, like, a weakness attributed to guys taking back women who cheat. Because when a woman cheats on a guy, especially, like, physically, guys see that as, like, I'm inadequate. It's very demasculizing. Whereas women are a lot more... They're almost expected to take back their partners sometimes.
Yeah. We don't know what happened, but people were reporting that Kristen seemed to be taking it the hardest. I don't know. When Rob's leaving in the truck, he has a beard, which I think is just a telltale sign of heartbreak and stuff. I don't know. I feel like men often grow beards when they're going through a breakup. So a few days later, on the 23rd, May 23rd, Kristen flipped off paparazzi. And I wrote in my notes, good for her.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the paparazzi was so invasive. It's like insane.
Yes, yeah.
I was watching these videos of, I'm not sure where she was. I don't know if it was like her parents' house or something, but paparazzi are waiting outside.
Oh my God.
And then she comes out the front door and is like walking to the driveway, and they're like right there and they're trying to talk. And I felt so bad for her. And like she gets in the car and she's just sitting there waiting for like, I'm not sure who it was. And
after the breakup?
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
And it's just such an invasion of privacy. Like, what are you doing at their personal house, like, waiting outside?
Yeah, that's so
horrible.
Disgusting. Especially when you're going through something, you know? And then to just have people taking pictures of you.
Yeah. So, you know, all that happened in May. I read that on the 26th, Rob moved back into his LA house. I don't know where he was, though, between moving out with the truck and then moving into his house. Who knows? In June, he was seen driving around with Riley Keough.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce that?
I don't know. Who was Elvis's granddaughter.
Yeah, and kind of like a minor actress.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they were dating or what was going on with that.
Yeah, it was rumored that they were hooking up. She's close friends with Kristen. They were in the Runaways together.
And they look alike.
Yeah, they do.
They look really alike. It was reported that Rob had stopped smoking and started going to the gym and was like going to concerts with friends. Does he still smoke though? Like, did that last?
I think he might still smoke, which is
I don't know.
Incredible because he looks amazing still.
He does. He really does. On August 4th, it was reported by The Cut, which is with the New York Magazine, I think, that Rob and Kristen had an intense conversation at her LA house. But
wait,
is
when
that
was
true?
this?
August 4th, yeah.
So they're still in talks.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I remember when they broke up in May, the article said from sources, like whoever the source was, that they broke up but they were likely to get back together.
Yeah, I meant to say that a lot of people were acting like they'll get back together.
Yeah,
they'll get back
that
together.
makes me think that almost that they broke up and got back together a lot.
Yeah, maybe. It was weird. And like, was this a break or something? I don't know why everyone was reacting that way. Spoiler, they don't get back together. But this isn't the end. This isn't the end of the story. I'm going to catch us up to now, and this will start moving faster, less like day by day. Yeah. So that September, Kristen there were rumors starting that she was dating visual effects producer Alicia Cargile. Mm-hmm. And this was kind of crazy at the time. Do you remember this? Like, there were article headlines that were saying, is Kristen Stewart dating a girl? And a lot of articles had no idea what was going on because she was seen all the time with Alicia, but she hadn't said anything. And I remember articles being like, Kristen and her gal pal.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I remember reading that too.
Like, they didn't know what to call her because they weren't sure. But it seemed like something more was going on.
Yeah. I think that they were friends while she was dating Rob.
I think so.
Yeah, I think they knew each other for a while.
Again, Kristen seems to do the overlap thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So those rumors were swirling. Apparently, Rob also was rumored to have maybe had like a very, very short fling with a model named Dylan Penn, daughter of Sean Penn and Robin Wright. I don't know what happened to that. I don't even know if that's true. Yeah. And I don't even know where in the timeline that fits in, because in September 2014, he started dating FKA Twigs.
Wait, so this is like a year later?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Right. This is like a year later. I guess I don't really have much.
Wait, so when did Kristen start dating Alicia? Was that?
I think it was 2014. So I don't know what happened the rest of 2013.
Yeah.
Or beginning of 2014.
Seems like they were both single, like, just for a while.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so it's 2014 now in this. Okay, so during that time, that's probably when the Riley stuff happened and this Dylan Penn girl. Mm-hmm. And I think Kristen was hanging out with Alicia, but people didn't know what was going on. But I don't think they really started dating until September 2014. Apparently that's the same month Rob started dating FKA Twigs, the singer, and she was a dancer, and her real name's Talila Barnett.
I just want to say, I don't know if you have a note for this, but Twilight fans were so horrible to FKA Twigs on Instagram. They were posting...
Yeah, we need to talk about this.
They were posting all this racist stuff on her accounts, and it really makes me embarrassed to be a Twilight fan because of this. Like, I think that's a very loud minority, but her social medias were flooded with stuff so much that she had to tweet about it and say, like, this is not acceptable.
Yeah.
And I was going on, because I really like FKA Twigs. I think she's really cool. And I just heard her song called Cellophane, which is, honestly, it's so inspiring. I've listened to it like a million times. And I think a lot of it is about this hate that, like, Twilight fans gave her.
Yeah.
And everyone was rooting for their relationship to end.
Yeah.
But I was going through her Instagram, and even, like, just posts from, like, a year ago, so many people would comment, like, Robsten.
Oh my God.
Or, like, he belongs with Kristen. And it's like, that's a real person. And
I know. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's just horrible. And you would think that even if it's just, like, stupid fans posting that, how insecure that would probably make you at times, because people are just human, and, like, everyone can kind of be jealous of, like, their partner's exes.
That'd be so messed up if you were dating someone and their friends and family were like, you should be with your ex,
Yeah.
Like, why are you with her?
She doesn't have a chance.
I know.
And at this point, they have been broken up for a while and both moved on. Why can't everyone else just move on and, like, let Rob be happy?
I thought that Rob and FKA Twigs were a really cool couple. I mean, she's so artsy, and they were really fashionable together.
Yeah.
And they just seemed so hip, and she seems like a really nice, super creative person.
Oh, she's so yeah. She's so smart and just how creative she is.
She's a genius.
And she's so talented too. Like, she's a really good dancer.
Yeah. I think she used to like do ballet, right? So it was so wrong of people to go after them like that, because why wouldn't you want Rob to be happy? Also, like, we know the position that Rob was in. I mean, I support Kristen and I like don't judge her anymore, but she cheated on him, so why are we like, Rob, be with Kristen?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
What?
Yeah. Like, clearly their relationship wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
And they had problems. I mean, I think they loved each other, obviously, if they, like, got back together after that, but they couldn't make it work, so who are we to say that they should be together? They obviously broke up for a reason.
So Rob and FK Twigs started dating in September 2014, and then apparently on October 30th, 2014, Rob and Kristen were seen together.
They were?
Yeah. At Rob's place for 3 hours, they report.
What?
Now, the photo evidence of this is a little bit hard to tell because there were pictures of their cars back to back, like leaving.
Yeah.
And I don't really know all of Rob's cars or like what they look like, but you can clearly see it's Kristen in her car, and then there's a car behind her, which was apparently his Jeep. Didn't he have a Jeep? I don't even know. That was apparently him, and so people were saying that they were together. Maybe it was about the dogs.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, maybe it's not as big of a deal as you think it is. I don't really have any news for a while until March 2015. Rob and FK Twigs were engaged. Oh. So that's pretty fast, actually. They're only dating for like a year.
Yeah.
But they got engaged, and I don't really know any details about that. I mean, it's not really relevant to Rob and Kristen, but this is just the timeline. And in spring 2016, Kristen started dating, briefly, the French singer Soko.
So when did her and Alicia Cargyle break up?
They broke up.
I think they broke up and got back together.
That's all you need to know. They broke up. Kristen has a lot of relationships.
Yeah.
Which is insane because apparently Soko dated Rob like a long time ago.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
I think before Kristen.
Weird.
I know.
That's so weird. Are you serious?
A lot of websites, like a lot of articles say that.
What a freak she is.
I know. What a freak she is. Maybe it was just like a short fling or something, but she at the very least knows Rob or something.
Oh my gosh, imagine her and Kristen, like, how could you hooking up and be like, oh, we both slept with Robert Pattinson.
I know. Like, how is that even possible? I can't, that's too hippie for me.
Yeah, that's weird.
What the F? But that was a short thing, her and Soko. I feel like Soko, I remember on her Instagram, seemed to really like Kristen, and she would even like post pictures of her.
Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah, but then they broke up. I don't know. It was very intense, but very short. Okay, so this is interesting because I don't know if you've noticed this, Mel, or listeners, that Kristen seemed to be way more open about her relationships after Rob.
Yeah.
Like more PDA in public and stuff like that. And she kind of explained this August 2016 to T Magazine, which I thought made a lot of sense. She said, I would never talk about any of my relationships before, but once I started dating girls, it seemed like there was an opportunity to represent something really positive. I still want to protect my personal life, but I don't want to seem like I'm protecting the idea, so that does sort of feel like I owe something to people. So that kind of made sense to me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like, yeah, like, it would be kind of, that has a different meaning if you're trying to, like, cover up the fact that you're dating a girl.
Yeah,
it might come off the wrong way if she's, like, refuses to talk about it, refuses to acknowledge it.
Yeah, exactly.
It does have a different meaning.
Makes sense.
So it would make sense why she would want to be more open about that.
I read in another article, mentioned dating Robert Pattinson, and she said, when I was dating a guy, I hid everything about my life, and almost saying like it was exhausting, always having to hide.
Yeah. And I think it was the same interviews when she said, people wanted me and Rob to be together so badly that our relationship was made into a product. It wasn't real life anymore, and that was gross to me. It's not that I want to hide who I am or hide anything I'm doing in my life. It's that I don't want to become a part of a story for entertainment value.
Yeah, which is what we're doing right now.
Shit! Kristen, we're sorry.
We're sorry. It's hard. Kristen, I hope that if you're listening, which I don't think you would be, but we're not talking about it to really understand who the both of you are. She's not listening. What am I doing? But we're talking about Robsten as the phenomenon that it was in relation to the series. So,
an historical event.
Yeah, we have to talk about it. We have to acknowledge it.
I do feel bad that it was used for entertainment, and I don't know, it's this weird thing of like, oh, yeah, it's so wrong, but then you can't resist.
Yeah, exactly.
She also, in fall 2016, was dating musician Annie Clark, known as St. Vincent, who's also an amazing musician.
Yeah.
We got some cool musicians dating Robsten. But then, I don't even know how long that was, because then in late 2016, she started seeing Stella Maxwell, New Zealand model, until they broke up in December 2018. And then she started dating stylist Sarah Dinkin in December 2018. Same month.
But then she was recently spotted with Stella Maxwell again.
Yeah, so you can help me with this. Like, who is she dating now?
I have no idea.
Okay. In October 2017, Rob and FKA Twigs actually broke up. And I don't know why. I don't know what happened, but sad.
Yeah. I read that they were just spending a lot of time apart because of work.
That sucks. Yeah. Oh yeah, I meant to say earlier that I actually felt like the timing of everything that happened with Rob and Kristen, I think contributed to the fact that it didn't work out the second time, because the scandal thing happened. Then they got back together, but really quickly after they got back together, he went to Australia for like a month, and they weren't together. So, I don't know, I bet it was weird. It must have been hard. So, yeah. I think that being separated, and I'm like, oh, is The Rover even worth it? Was it even a good movie? I don't know.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Kristen's mom is from Australia.
Really?
Yeah.
How did I not know that?
Yeah.
Wow. Does she have an accent?
I don't think so. But she's originally from there, so Kristen would go there growing up.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I think I think Kristen might be Australian, like a dual citizen.
What?
I
have
feel
no
like I'm
idea.
making that up, but yeah, her mom is like
wow,
an Australian citizen.
There's so much that I don't know.
Yeah. On
February 2017, this is when Kristen was on Saturday Night Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Stewart.
Thank you so much. It is really great to be hosting Saturday Night Live, I gotta tell you. I'm here to promote my movie Twilight, which this week has been on iTunes for 8 years. Check it out. I'm a little nervous to be hosting because I know that the president's probably watching, and I don't think he likes me that much. Here's how I know. 4 years ago, I was dating this guy named Robert. And we broke up, and then we got back together, and for some reason, it made Donald Trump go insane. Here's what he actually tweeted, and this is real. Robert Pattinson should not take back Kristen Stewart. She cheated on him like a dog and will do it again. Just watch, he can do so much better. Now, I know what you're thinking, right? That's so crazy. The president tweeted about you once. No. The president tweeted about me 11 times. He also said, everyone knows I'm right, that Robert Pattinson should dump Kristen Stewart. In a couple years, he'll thank me. Be smart, Robert. I know. And then one day later, he tweeted, everyone's asking me to speak more on Robert and Kristen, and I don't have time, except to say, Robert, drop her. She cheated on you, and she'll do it again. Okay, so to be fair, I don't think Donald Trump hated me. I think he's in love with my boyfriend. Because he also tweeted this. Miss Universe 2012 pageant will be airing live on NBC and Telemundo December 19th. Open invite. Stands for Robert Pattinson. So yeah, that's crazy, right? The president is not a huge fan of me. But that is so okay. And Donald, if you didn't like me then, you're really probably not gonna like me now because I'm hosting SNL and I'm like so gay, dude.
What I think was interesting about that, how she's talking about how Donald Trump was obsessed with Rob, she, in the present tense, says, I think he's in love with my boyfriend.
I think he's in love with my boyfriend.
That's weird.
Isn't it weird?
Yeah. Maybe that's just a mistake, but that's a weird mistake to make.
Yeah.
Weird. I didn't even catch that. And she, in an interview with The Guardian, clarified that she was bisexual. And similarly, in Harper's Bazaar in August 2017, said that she was open to dating men again, saying, "I want to try everything." So, of course, Robsten fans, maybe us included, are like, what does that mean?
This is probably wrong of me to say, but do you think that after losing Robert Pattinson, she said, "I will never love another man again"?
Maybe. I'll never love. That's totally possible.
Because it seems like she's over men now.
I
She
know.
really only dates women.
I know. It'd be really interesting if she dated a guy again. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who can even compare to Rob, though? Maybe she's like,
Exactly. That's
there's
what
no other men.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's like, I've had the best there is.
Yeah. So this is actually in August 2017. This is more for Kristen episode. Maybe I should cut this out. But New York Times had a whole thing about Kristen Stewart, and she was on the cover of their magazine. And at her house, they described all the stuff she had inside, and it said that she had the Twilight books.
No
on the
way.
shelf.
Oh my God, I love it.
I know.
Keep it
And
in.
that she had a shield from Snow White and the Huntsman, but it was up high on a shelf or
Really?
something. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no way.
And that Bernie and Bear were there at the house.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They must have
In
shared.
August 2017.
They must have shared custody. August 2017? That's so insane.
Yeah. I know. Crazy. So then, February 13th, 2018.
They could be dead now, the dogs.
Oh, maybe. Why do you say that? Why do you say that? I think she adopted another dog, too. Why do we know this? We're too obsessed. February 13th, 2018. So, it's not that long ago. Rob and Kristen were seen together at a bar in LA. There are no pictures, but multiple fans tweeted about this, claiming that they saw them talking at a bar, but no pictures were taken. And people were saying, oh, it was a really small bar, it was too intimate, we couldn't take a picture. I don't know. That's pretty insane. I didn't think we were ever going to see Rob and Kristen together again. I don't know if they went together or if they just,
had a mutual friend, yeah.
Because they do have mutual friends.
Well, did you know that they were at the Met Gala together when he was still with FKA Twigs? I think it was 2016, 2017.
I didn't know that.
And there are reports that Kristen went up to them inside the Met Gala.
Wow.
And hugged Rob and introduced herself to FKA Twigs.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's very nice of her.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what's crazy about the Met Gala is the list is secret. So no one knows who's going to be there until you go there. So there's no way to... I guess she could have texted Rob and been like, hey, will you be at the Met Gala? But
that's why Rob never went back.
Yeah.
Wait, did he?
Him and FKA Twigs went 2 years.
Okay. Kristen always goes.
Yeah.
I think.
She goes quite a bit.
Yeah. I wonder what makes them decide if they're going to go 1 year or not. Maybe they're just busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they do have mutual friends, which is the weird thing.
They have a friend named Marcus Foster, who I was reading.
Wait, is that from Foster the People?
I don't know.
Mark Foster's lead singer of Foster the People.
I think it's one of Rob's English friends, and I think he's friends with a lot of Kristen's friends, the CJ guy. Mm-hmm. So they hung out together. I was reading in my research, not to steal your...
Oh, no, you can totally fill in places that I left out.
I read that I think the night that you're talking about was a going away party for Marcus Foster.
I don't know when this is from. I didn't write it. This is Kristen in an interview on being in love, and she said, "I've been deeply in love with everyone I've dated. Did you think I was faking it? I've always really embraced duality and really truly believed in it and never felt confused or struggling. I just didn't like getting made fun of." Mm-hmm. So I find that a little hard to believe for some reason.
What? That she's
had
deeply
a lot
in love?
Of relationships.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's possible. Maybe I'm just not like that or something. But I don't get how you can go from being in love for a season and then the next season
you're in love with someone else. Yeah. I don't know. I'm when I have feelings for someone, they last way too long.
Yeah. But I took this as also referring to Rob. Because I think she was kind of talking about faking it as in when she dated men or something.
Yeah. And people thinking also that her and Rob were a publicity stunt.
Yeah. Yeah. And then again, I can't believe people ask this. It's kind of invasive, but again, asked if she would date men. And she said, yeah, totally, definitely. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Some people aren't like that. Some people know that they like grilled cheese and they'll eat it every day for the rest of their lives. I want to try everything. If I have grilled cheese once, I'm like, that's cool. What's next? Isn't grilled cheese like it like means something sexual?
Probably.
I think it does.
Like, does it mean like pussy?
Yeah. Pretty sure. Pretty sure.
I can see it.
Kristen, why would you say that? Also, like, she's saying these things, but she's only dating women. Like, not that she has to date men. I don't care at all. But, like, it's weird that people are asking it, one. Weird, too, that she's like, yeah, definitely. Like,
yeah.
It's weird.
I think it's because, I really think it's because I shouldn't say this. Just that the man that she's talking about is Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone could ever compare.
I know. Do you think people would even be asking her if she didn't date Robert Pattinson?
Probably not. They're like, would you ever get back with Michael Angarano?
I wonder if she ever talks to him anymore.
I don't know.
Have they, like, texted? She probably totally forgets about him.
I also read in an interview, I don't know if you have this, where someone was asking about her breakup with Robert Pattinson, and she said it was an extremely painful time.
That's sad.
It was like in regards to the Equals movie, and she said
yeah.
like that was an extremely difficult time, so it was nice to like work on a movie to distract myself.
So then it continues. June 5th, 2018. So this was last summer. Mm-hmm. Kristen and Rob were seen together at Lily Rose Depp's birthday party.
Oh, wow.
Talking outside. And there are pictures of this. I'm sure you saw them.
Yeah,
it's
like
very
nighttime,
blurry.
Yeah.
On a sidewalk. I don't know why they were at that party. She's like a teenager.
She is?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I know. She's like way younger than them.
So weird.
I know. Very odd. But
it's weird how celebrities, they always have birthday parties even for like their insignificant birthdays.
I know.
Like Rob has these like really big birthday bashes for himself, I guess. I know. But it's like for his like 31st.
It's
like
kind of
self-indulgent.
I know.
Yeah.
Celebrities always go over the top for their birthday.
And it's like every single birthday. They
I
never
know.
seemingly have like a low-key birthday.
I guess because they have money. But
Yeah.
some years you just do like nothing on your birthday.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah, it's like I work on my birthday.
It seems actually exhausting to be a celebrity, like, or maybe I don't know. Maybe some celebrities have more low key social lives, but when I was earlier in this, when it was like day by day by day, especially in April 2013, it seemed like Rob and Kristen were socializing like every day.
Yeah,
like, we're going to a party. This.
Yeah.
Concert.
Which is so weird because they
blah, blah.
seem like really low-key celebrities, but even them, they're just like constantly partying.
I know.
It seems exhausting.
So many birthday parties. Mm-hmm. I mean, really? Do we even have time for Katy Perry's assistant's birthday
I
know! Like, what? Too many. Yeah, I feel like a huge birthday party like that shouldn't be all the time. And actually, so it's funny you say that because my next point was May 2019, which just happened. Rob celebrated his birthday. Oh yeah,
we forgot to mention.
He's dating Suki Waterhouse.
Yeah.
So yeah, after FK Twigs, I'm not sure when it started, but
I feel like a year ago or so.
He's now dating Suki Waterhouse,
who also seems really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of their relationship as well.
She's very pretty, and she's English too, and so was FK Twigs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no more American Girls. Yeah. Robert Pattinson. But in May 2019, Rob was celebrating his, 33rd birthday?
Yeah, I think so.
With Suki, and Ashley Greene and Peter Facinelli were there.
Yeah, I read that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that was cute. But yeah, it was like a party. It was the whole thing.
Like
Like
a
your
big
33rd
yeah.
birthday? Like, why are you doing that?
Did you know that Ariana, I might be making this up, but Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson either got engaged or announced their engagement at Robert Pattinson's 32nd birthday party?
That's so weird.
Isn't it weird?
Yeah. Announced it at Robert Pattinson's 32nd birthday party.
I think he has like these big birthday parties for himself. I mean, someone else probably throws them for him.
I know, he seems so like humble and as if he wouldn't care about that. But
yeah.
Then he's having these huge birthday parties.
He has like, I read one of them, like the cops, this recent one, the cops had to shut it down.
No way.
Yeah, they're like big Gatsby parties.
Rob.
Yeah.
Rob. For his birthday? Wow. Same month, the world went crazy because Kristen was seen out and about wearing Beastie Boys t-shirt on the back that says "Get Off My Dick" that Robert Pattinson owned and used to wear. Mm-hmm. And people were like, "Is that Rob's shirt?" She's still wearing his shirt.
Crazy. After all this time,
still wearing it. And yeah, so it seems like they still see each other occasionally. Mm-hmm. They have mutual friends. I mean, they're still both in LA. I feel like when you're actors in Hollywood, you can't really escape.
Yeah, exactly.
Your ex.
Yeah.
But that's kind of it. They're both dating other people and living their own lives. Lives that are still close to each other, sort of, mm-hmm. but...
they could potentially still share dogs.
Yeah, we don't know. What is up with the dogs? I need to do more research on that.
Well, so you know what's interesting about the dogs
mm-hmm.
is like when they got back together for Breaking Down Part 2, I think like the giveaway that they were back together is they both did press and they both talked about their dogs.
Oh yeah.
And showed pictures of like the same dogs.
Oh my god.
I remember Kristen was on Regis and Kelly talking about Bear and Bernie,
mm-hmm.
and Rob was on Ellen talking about them. And I wondered if that was purposely done just as a subtle way to show that they were back together.
Maybe. That is subtle.
Because I think that like when they go on those interviews, they know ahead of time what they're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's kind of what I had for the post-scandal timeline, but do you have anything to add?
Oh, I think after they were spotted hanging out and photographed,
mm-hmm.
Rob was at a event for Damsel, I think,
mm-hmm.
and the reporter asked if he could name like his favorite boss ladies that he's worked with, mm-hmm. and he's naming people, and then the interviewer goes, "What about Kristen Stewart?" And then he's like, "Oh yeah, Kristen Stewart, of course, Kristen Stewart."
Oh my god, that's so awkward.
Isn't it?
Why would the interviewer say that?
Isn't it?
People are crazy.
Yeah.
When it comes to Robsten, reporters and everything still always crossing the line.
Even when you watch paparazzi videos of them now, the paparazzi, like 9 out of 10 times, are asking them something about, like, the other one.
Even now,
like it's
crazy.
Like, Rob, what do you think about Kristen Stewart dating Stella Maxwell? Or like Kristen, like, what do you think about Rob being engaged? I mean, think about how horrible that is. I feel like if I was them, I would honestly be really over the other one because I would be so over being asked about it.
Yeah.
It would be so upsetting.
I know. Wow. It just shows, I mean, it still is relevant to everyone that's like, Twilight podcast? What? I mean, paparazzi still cares about it, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's funny, like almost if you search Kristen Stewart or
mm-hmm.
Robert Pattinson now, I guarantee one of the top articles will involve the other one.
Yeah. It's so true.
I wonder, like, how that makes them feel.
I know.
It's like people cannot get over this relationship.
They can't. And it's interesting because, they played Bella and Edward, but they're so different. And the whole story was, like, so much more tumultuous and
mm-hmm.
real in a way. But I don't know. Do you think a lot of it... they just seemed so far away from Bella and Edward to me, but...
I think it's a natural thing that,
mm-hmm.
like, when two people are stars of a franchise
mm-hmm.
like that people will want them together.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that the fact that they were so secretive played into how obsessed people are with them.
It was definitely more fun, which I hate to say.
Yeah.
But I feel like before the first time they broke up, it feels much different from after.
Yeah.
Like, when you look at the pictures, you're like, oh, they're still together. But something about it doesn't feel as good. You're like...
No, after Breaking Down Part 2 came out, I was way less invested in their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's because I realized, like, geez, I don't even know these people. When I saw pictures of them, I felt kind of unfazed. And then when they broke up, I was like, oh, that sucks. But it wasn't a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot also, Rob was asked about the cheating scandal once in a print interview. I don't remember who it was. And he said... It's just young people, it happens, and
mm-hmm.
who gives a fuck or something.
That's mature of him.
Yeah. I mean, it was, like, they were so young at the time, and...
Yeah.
My thing with them is I think they're both such private people, and I think that they found fame really early on abruptly,
mm-hmm.
and they both felt really overwhelmed by it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like their relationship was never going to work out because together they are too famous.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care really about his relationship with Suki Waterhouse. I don't care if they work out. I don't care about him and FKA Twigs.
Yeah.
I don't care about her and Stella Maxwell. I'm not invested, and I don't think anybody really is.
Yeah.
But together, people just lose their minds.
I know.
I feel like the whole cheating scandal validated why they were so secretive in the first place, because that's like the kind of thing that they wanted to avoid.
And then it happened.
Yeah. So even if I feel like they're probably both moved on, but even if they still had feelings for each other and wanted to be back together, I don't think they ever would be, because I don't think they can handle the scrutiny that goes with that.
Mm-hmm. Do you think if they were back together like 5 years from now, people would still be like, oh my God?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, probably. 10 years?
Even 30 years from now, I think, maybe 30 years from now, people would be a little bit over it. But I also think that they want to move on, so that way, for their own careers, people stop associating them with just Twilight.
I mean, they're older now. Time has passed. It's been like 5 years, so... No, wait, more than that. 6 years, right?
I do think it's interesting. I always thought that Rob was the one that Rob was like really in love with Kristen, and she, you know, probably had feelings for him, but like they were less obvious, apparent, just from interviews. But since they've been together, Kristen seems to bring up Robert Pattinson in interviews more. Like, even the fact that like she included him in her SNL monologue. Yeah. Whereas Rob really doesn't acknowledge Kristen's like existence.
Yeah, never. I know. And I don't want to like trash on her personality or anything, but I feel like lately with her more recent relationships, she's, I don't know who's saying this, but people have been saying that she's like kind of clingy and like needs to be in a relationship and stuff. And the fact that she did seem to take their breakup, it was really, she was the one that was getting scrutinized, but she did seem to take it worse. And like maybe we underestimated Kristen, because I also thought like, oh, she doesn't even care about Rob. Like, Rob's the one that's in love, and she's
what do we know?
But maybe we're totally off. Yeah. Not saying that he didn't care, but maybe he was more casual than we thought. Yeah. Maybe that whole thing about his crush and proposing, blah, 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 maybe that was way more of a joke than we knew. Maybe he was more of a flirt and a little player than we know.
Yeah. I remember once reading, I do not, like, quote me on this, like, I don't know if this is true, but that, like, throughout their relationship, Rob would cheat on her.
Oh my God.
I don't think that's true. I hope it's not true, but I remember reading it in like a shitty tabloid. But it's like, it goes to show you really don't know. I mean, think of how many people were probably throwing themselves onto Rob and like wanted to be with him.
Throwing themselves. Just throwing their bodies at him.
I'm sure women were probably trying to sleep with him on the daily.
Yeah.
You know?
You're so right. Oh my gosh.
That would make me feel insecure if I was Kristen Stewart.
And a lot of people kind of acted like he was too good for her in a way. Or, oh, she never smiles. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. People liked them together, but also...
I think Kristen probably got a lot of hate. Probably not as much hate as FKA Twigs got.
Poor FKA Twigs. That's horrible.
Yeah.
People leave her alone.
I think really a lot of Twilight fans need to understand that they have no control over this. Like, you wanting Rob and Kristen together is not going to make them get back together. And if anything, it's going to drive them further apart because they don't want that kind of pressure and attention.
Yeah. And it's never going to be a movie or a TV show where we get scenes of Rob and Kristen, you know, having great dialogue and being in love and stuff. Like, it's never totally, maybe that's what's so addictive about it, is it's never going to be totally satisfying. So you can, like, just keep looking for more and more and more. Yeah. But unlike a movie or something, we're not going to get, like, cute scenes.
You're never going to be satisfied.
Yeah.
They're never, and to be honest, they're never going to get back together.
No, I don't think so.
There's, like, no part of me. If I had to bet money on it, they're not going to.
What if it's, like, Liam and Miley? No, just kidding.
I don't think so. They seem
I don't
both
think so either.
Dumb.
It would be funny, though, if we were like, never.
Yeah.
No, but I agree. Like, I would not put any faith in that idea. No.
Yeah.
No, they seem like they've totally moved on. They don't even really seem like the same.
Exactly. I couldn't even picture them together now. It's not that I don't want them to. Like, that would be really cool if they were. But It's for me, I have no hope in that. And honestly, when they were together, I was too invested in their relationship that it took up too much time in my life, and it made me feel gross. That it'd be like almost stressful.
It took up too much
if they were together. It did, but I would love it if they could be friends and could star in another movie together.
That would be cool.
Because at the end of the day, I think a big reason people love them is just because their on-screen chemistry was so palpable and exciting that people just want to see them do their craft again.
Maybe. Probably not. I don't know if I kind of don't think they'll ever do a movie together.
You don't think so?
No. Or at least
you don't think in 20 years?
I think at least they're not going to do a romantic movie.
Yeah. You don't think they'll become just like good friends?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
For some reason, I do get the vibe that Rob isn't interested in her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, he's probably so hurt by it all.
I've wondered this whole time what Rob thinks about like Kristen's wacky hairdos lately and like tattoos, and not that there's anything wrong with it. She looks cool. She's, got her style, but she definitely has changed. I've wondered what he thinks of that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Her bleach blonde eyebrows right now.
Oh, yeah. I saw these articles.
Is he like, oh, that's cute? Or is he like,
who is this girl? Yeah. I saw these articles that were like, Kristen Stewart has no eyebrows.
Oh my god. I can't even believe some of the articles from this time. Just insane. The way people would write about it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And you were saying yesterday that any article about Rob and Kristen now, the last sentence is always like, if you don't remember, Kristen Stewart cheated on Robert Pattinson in July 2012.
They still do it. They always refer to that.
It sucks.
I know.
It's kind of crazy how even on SNL, Kristen mentioned the cheating scandal.
She got it out of the way.
Yeah.
First things first.
I know it.
My opening monologue.
Yeah. It just shows how ridiculous it is.
What do you think since then has been an equal celebrity scandal or relationship? I feel like Ariana Grande, Pete Davidson stuff was pretty big.
Yeah.
Do you think it's as big as this? I don't really think it's as big.
I don't know, because it's I feel like we're in that Twilight bubble where we thought that the Rob and Kristen stuff was really big, and
Donald Trump thought it was.
Yeah. So it was big at the time, but I don't think it really, the legacy of it is that significant. I feel like people forgot about it.
I don't think Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson will have a legacy. I mean, he's not that famous.
Yeah.
I bet people will forget in 10 years. No. What else has been as big as this?
Like a cheating scandal?
Yeah, or something similar.
Brad and Angelina broke up. That was big.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. But with all celebrity gossip, something new comes along and people forget about it.
What's the story right now? I feel like there's been a lot of stories recently, people getting married.
Yeah.
Jonas Brothers,
yeah. Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin.
Oh, yeah. Remember when Orlando Bloom, they had pictures of him with his dick out?
No.
On a paddleboard?
No.
True, yeah. Him and Katy Perry were out paddleboarding or something, and he was naked.
Oh my god.
I
That's
know.
so invasive. That's crazy.
I mean, they blurred it, but apparently you could get some pictures where it wasn't blurred.
It's weird because I was obsessed with Rob and Kristen.
Yeah.
But I also felt so bad for them and how much the paparazzi invaded their privacy. So I didn't love to see paparazzi pictures of them. And I didn't like it when people asked about their relationship, but I also liked to see that they were together. So
it's weird.
I wish they both just shared stuff with us when they felt comfortable or something.
It really wasn't our business, but it was this weird thing where we loved them, but also makes me cringe when people harass them.
Yeah.
As it should. Harassment isn't good.
No.
No matter who it is.
Yeah. Imagine you're going through a breakup and then people keep asking you about it constantly.
I don't even like it when friends ask about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or my mom.
Yeah.
Leave me alone, Mom. Imagine strangers.
It's crazy. If you're just walking down the street. And if you're walking hand in hand with your new partner.
And then they're like, what Kristen, Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, Robert Pattinson's engaged. It's horrible.
And her new girlfriend must be like, what the hell?
Yeah. It must be.
What about me?
Yeah. I really think that you guys should check out FKA Twig's song and music video, Cellophane, because I think so much of it is about, I think a lot of it is about her own self-discovery and her own, like, finding herself and her own demons, but the lyrics of it make it sound like she was really affected by the hate that she got in dating Robert Pattinson.
Well, I wonder what will happen next.
Yes. Probably nothing.
Well, maybe a year from now we can update you guys.
Yeah. A part of me still hopes that they would get back together.
Well, you
After
just said
all
they
this.
You just said. No, but ever since them, I truly don't care about any celebrity couples.
Yeah,
And
same.
my sister Shannon, shout out. I
Remember
feel
she pushed you in front of, like, traffic one time?
Yes, we were in Montreal. That relates to Robsten because
they were photographed in Montreal, yeah.
Yeah, but we were in Montreal and I was talking to my sisters about how all celebrity couples break up and I don't care about them. And she was like, that's not true. And I was like, yes, it is.
They pretty much all do, yeah.
And she was like, not Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. I was like, they probably will break up someday.
Yeah.
And she was so mad at me that she pushed me. We were like on a bike path, pushed me into traffic with her bikes and stuff. I mean, I didn't get hit, but like someone swerved out of the way. She was so angry at me. But yeah, I don't have faith in, I think that Hollywood's a really tough place to be.
Yeah.
I think that their lifestyles are insane. So when it comes to normal people, it's hard for relationships to stay together. I think it's even harder for celebrities.
Yeah.
That's not to say I don't believe in love and stuff. I do, but
I also think, like, with the cheating and scandal, it's kind of weird because she's making out with Rupert Sanders, whatever, but, like, they make out with other people all the time in movies. I wonder if that's, like, kind of no big deal.
I think it is no big deal.
No, but, like, in movies, but then I wonder if it makes cheating feel like no big deal.
Maybe.
I don't know.
We have to talk to an actor.
Yeah. Has Rupert Sanders done anything since? I don't think so.
I don't know.
What a creep he was.
He definitely hasn't made a name for himself or
Yeah.
anything, so I don't know.
He wasn't really that. I'm pretty sure that was like the only movie he had directed.
Wow.
Besides that, he did like commercials and stuff.
That was dumb. The whole thing was dumb.
Yep. Not worth it.
Yeah, it's not like she ended up dating him or anything.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Who are we to judge? Do you have any more thoughts on that?
I don't think so. I just wish Rob and Kristen the best.
Me too, yeah. I wish them happiness, and I wish that people will let them be happy.
Yeah.
And not interrogate them about their past relationships or past struggles and just move on.
Agreed. And don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how to put this into words, but I was thinking, like, not all relationships are supposed to work out, you know? And some are just fine, like, being in their own little time frame.
Yeah,
and
just like Rob said, like, they weren't failures of relationships. They lasted pretty long.
Yeah.
And they had great memories, and weirdly, we have memories about it too, even though we're not part of the relationship. But doing these episodes was like a walk down memory lane.
Yeah.
And it was nice.
It was nice, but also it was, like, creepy. I was like, I just found myself thinking about them way too much. Right, good episode.
Nice job, Mel. We did it.
We did it. Hooray.
Are you lonesome tonight? Do you miss me tonight? Are you sorry we drifted apart? Does your